Anybody here ever serve in the Army? Like, the U.S. Army?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Alright, so, I'm gonna fucking lay a little secret on you guys.
That's why
All
Rip
right.
is teaching.
The fucking... I give my military career a C average. I was in the infantry for 4 years, dude. Alright, like...
Nah, it's full more than anyone else here.
However, I'm gonna lay a little fucking secret on you, dude.
It's only 3 more than me.
All this... super fucking informal. If you have any sort of insight, please give it. I am not the end-all be-all knowledge, so there's likely somebody here in this group that can do something better than I can. So if you have input to add, feel free to add it. It's not going to be a battle of the egos or anything like that. I think that I gotta
Cool.
check a text message. That being said, I'm Ripco. I've got a pretty firm grasp on especially small unit tactic type shit. CQB, moving, entering clearing rooms, assaulting objectives, that kind of shit. I feel pretty well versed in that, and that's what we're going to kind of focus today is squad level tactics, and if we get big enough, then maybe platoon level tactics. But for the most part, squad level tactics, coming into an OBJ as a 1-1 and assaulting an objective, splitting off into teams, getting shit done, that kind of stuff. So we're going to focus primarily on formations, battle drills, reacting to variables that are outside of our control, that kind of shit. So, any questions?
Nope.
Okay. All right. We got one more coming in, so we'll wait for him. How we're going to kind of start off is just going over kind of the basic principles of a squad, the limitations, the benefits, that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of like more than a squad is a party, and I don't really like parties. So when we go into lib and stuff like that, and we get these massive platoon size elements that are rushing around and stuff, there's definitely merit to it, but nothing is ever going to really be as simple and deadly as like a cohesive, well communicated squad that can get shit done. An analogy that I tend to use is like if you ever go to a construction site, you go out there and you see that they have specialty tools for pretty much everything. They got excavators, they got skid steers, they got bulldozers, that kind of shit. Very, very rarely, I've never seen it. If you guys have, let me know. Have I gone to like a job site or a construction site and seen like nothing but fucking backhoes out there? And what I'm getting at there is everybody has strengths and everybody has weaknesses. Play to your strengths and obviously try and work on your weaknesses, but when rubber meets the road, it's time to play to what we know best. So if you have a guy like Benji over here with a fucking saw, right, that's a specialty position. You got a guy over here that's running long range with a kind of longer barrel AR. That's, you know, and he's got some sort of mag on his optic. That's a strength. And then you got a guy, everybody over here is running mag. So then you got me, I'm running a red dot, right? So there's different specialties that people kind of, you know,
it's kind of like a football team. Everybody's got their job.
Exactly, man. And so you know, play to your strength. If we're taking contact and all of a sudden we need like hundreds of fucking rounds shot to the east, there he is right there, prone the fuck out, ready to do it. We got a guy that's, you know, 600 meters out in the distance, and we need a dude that's got you know, the capability to take that dude out. That, you know, right here, the narcotics might be our guy to fucking do that. So play to your strengths, and every squad is going to have that variable where they're going to have different people on there that are better at doing one thing than the other, right? We all need our bare minimum standards, but at the end of the day, if somebody is, you know, some sort of emphasis on something, I didn't notice Beanbag over there or Rogue over there with the GL. You know, there's different specialty positions. So really what I'm getting at in that long rambled bullshit is play to your strengths. I guess what we can probably go over to start off with is like basic fucking formations, right? So who's 1-1's SL?
I think
I don't know if they have
it
an
says
SO,
it's me, but I slotted into a rifleman. But
yeah,
I
I'm
can,
a fire team lead, but we can just call. I don't care to take the slot if
We need to
Okay,
for
yeah, so
purposes.
narcotics, you can be, so narcotics for now, you'll be one of the ones I sell, and then throughout training, we'll rotate people in and out and shit, but,
Cool.
formations are kind of the foundation of how everything is going to go, because it's how you guys move, okay? And so, when we move, we want to do it as aggressively and quickly as possible, sometimes, but we also want to do it as safely as possible, and safety is kind of the name of the game. You guys have all played on the server, and if you haven't, then you guys will learn playing on the server that it's not uncommon, and I'm not trying to talk shit, but it's not uncommon for a rookie squad leader to go into a situation and maybe step on their dick a little bit, and then all of a sudden their entire squad's in a mass cas. Then you've got Banshee coming into an element, taking fire. You've got other squads moving and QRFing that position to go and essentially do a team rescue, right?
When you've got 3 squads, oh god, what is my dude doing?
Yeah, so and you got these dudes coming into this position, and what it does is it creates a massive amount of liability, okay? I work in police work in real life, and one of the biggest things that we're taught from the get-go is, like, don't be a liability to your fucking team, right? And so, the core foundation of not being a liability to your team is moving safely. And so there's a bunch of different formations that we can go over that are relatively simple. This isn't like high school soccer where we're going to sit here and everybody needs to be in specific positions and stuff like that. These are loose fit, and this is going to go with everything for this training. These are very loose fit ground rules. That
A lot of it's ideals, not
exactly.
absolutes.
You guys should base your fucking bottom line like decisions off of these ideals, and Lynx is correct. That's exactly what they are. They're fundamentals and ideals. All right. So if we go into a wedge formation and you're like, oh man, based on doctrine, I should be 6.4 feet away from. No, it's not like that, dude. It's pretty simple. There's a idea that we want you guys to grasp. There's an idea behind the formation, and as long as you guys have that in mind, adjust it as you see fit. Right?
A good rule of thumb is, if you accidentally drop a grenade at your feet, you're the only one dying. And that's about as far away as you want to be from everyone else.
Yeah. And that might not always be possible. You know, there might come a time where it's like we got to get nut to butt and we got to get really close to each other and stuff like that.
Urban environments.
But, yeah. But if we're walking through a field like this one, there's zero reason any of us need to be as close as we are right now to each other. So, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have narcotics come and stand over by me. And we're going to essentially form formations based off of narcotics because he's squad lead, right? So the first formation that I want to go over is something that's super freaking simple, and it's essentially a line, all right? So everybody, I guess this is a squad, huh? So everybody just line up horizontally on narcotics, probably about as far away as I am from him right now. I'm going to speak on 3-1. Hopefully everybody can hear me. If you can't hear me on 3-1, then I'm sorry. So this is a security formation, right? Now, what we could do to make this even more secure, and everybody go ahead and face down range. So everybody's facing down range, right? So every second person, right? So count by twos, look to your left and right. All my odd numbers, turn around and face me. Right, so that's even more secure, because at that point we're kind of dealing with a 360 security, right? You know, everybody's looking, if everybody's taking a 40-degree direction where they're looking left and right and holding that position, we've got a pretty good security up. I don't think anybody's going to sneak up on us and shoot us in the back of the fucking head, right? So fall back in on me. So a line formation's pretty simple for getting some sort of security out, especially towards like an objective or towards maybe where we're expecting contact to happen from, right? Now, what makes a line kind of suck is if you end up walking into a wood line like this, it's just not going to work. You're not going to be able to walk into a wood line with a line formation. You're not going to be able to walk through a city in a line formation. Those aren't going to happen. It's pretty much an open field or a security posture. The good news behind it is it allows you to cover a shit ton of ground with not a lot of people, because there's really not a lot of people with us right now. Something that modern military doctrine has changed over the years has been, you know, the more the merrier. Like I said, more than a squad is a party for me. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But modern military doctrine, especially American military doctrine, I can't speak to not American, but American military
Australia is
doctrine.
very motorized, so I've never served, but I can speak on behalf of motorized doctrine.
Yeah, so with the Americans at least, it's like modern American military tactics are like, if we don't outnumber them 5-1, we're not engaging, right? So this is a good way to take a lot of people, or not a lot of people, and make them into a lot of people, okay? Because you're stretched the fuck out. The next one that we're gonna do is kind of like a travel formation. It's a file. It's a ranger file. Super simple shit. So where's narcotics at?
Okay.
Just come line up right over here. Yep. So everybody just file in behind narcotics, like you're in a lunch line. Give a little bit of spacing though.
Same rules apply. If you dropped a grenade, only you're dying.
Yeah, so it's a lunch line. This is a ranger file, dude. This is a speed formation. This is exactly what this is. I'm moving fucking fast. We're hurrying up and getting to an objective. You know, 1-2 is in a tick, and they're taking fire, and we need to hurry the hell up and get there. This is probably gonna be the formation that we use to hurry the hell up and get there. This is gonna be we're going to this formation really quickly. People need to be scanning whatever the hell their sector is, right? So typically how I have always been taught is your number 1 man's got his head forward, your number 2 man's looking to the 3, your number 3 man's looking to the 9, that kind of shit, and so on and so forth. And the more people you have, the thinner your sectors get. Go ahead and fall back in on me.
Another interesting tidbit is that IRL, walking in a single column line, which is what we call it in Australia, hides just how many people you have. It could be a squad, it could be a platoon. It's one line and it's rough. So
I learned that from Star Wars.
It's also good for low visibility, so you don't separate from one another.
Sand people, man, they travel single file to hide their numbers.
Conversely, a single machine gun will also wipe out the entire squad if it gets in line with you guys.
Well, and so that's what I'm gonna get into last, and I should have went over the file towards the end and shit like that, but I wasn't thinking about it.
We'll go over the basics and then how to implement them.
Yeah. So another thing is essentially a diamond, but this one is not going to work with this many people. So just let me get narcotics +3. So this would be a good like courtyard compound clearing position, right? So we're going to go into a compound or some sort of you know, fenced in area or whatever, and it's just us, right? So there's just the 4 of us, right? So narcotics is our squad lead. We're gonna get kind of freaking nut to butt close up on him because we're in a tight setting. And then oh god, Centurion is gonna be off to the left, covering how he's doing right there. And then Zergling, you're gonna push up kind of hip to hip right here with Centurion, and you're gonna cover off to the right. Right? So you got your gun up to the right, and then I'm behind him, kind of just fucking looking back and forth. My job as the 6 is going to be just a constant moving left or right to see what the hell they're doing, where they're going, and stuff like that. But my focus is on any sort of threats. If Lynx is Hodge and he's coming up behind us and he wants to do harm, I'm going to be able to see that, all right? Because I'm sitting there, and essentially, narcotics just controls the pace. This is super slow moving. This is going to be extremely slow moving formation because we have to stay relatively close to each other, but we are our own security here. There's no other security but us, and we're probably going into a situation, you guys can break down, probably going into a situation where there are so many unknowns that we have to move slowly and we have to move very closely, otherwise we'll just die, all right? And that kind of leads me into the last formation that I wanted to cover, and that's the wedge. Which is probably the most common formation that I see get used both in real life and in the game. And so
Wedge, V, You can also break it down further into echelon left and echelon right, which is just one half of that, with the squad lead being the spear point. But yeah, the wedge, it's tried and true, and it's quite frankly the easiest. Everyone has seen the wedge.
What the wedge also allows you to do is you can very, very easily transition from a file to a wedge, and from a wedge to a file. So we're sitting here, we're wedged up, we're walking through this field over here. We come up to this tree line, and we're like, all right, well, we can't wedge through this tree line, or we don't want to, because there's a lot of unknowns and shit like that. Narcotics can turn around and say, all right, well, let's just file up real quick, and then we can all break down, file up, walk through the rough terrain, and then when we get back to an open field, he can be like, hey, wedge the hell back out again. Wedge and file are kind of the, I don't know, the travel formations that I see get used most frequently, and there's a reason for that. We have questions. And like me and Lynx were talking about, and I'm pretty sure everybody here has probably grasped it, but I want to echo it and stuff like that, is there's no firm, like, you shall rule with this. These are baseline ideas and principles that are designed to make it as simple as possible, and that way when you guys are, and it's a video game, I get that, however, stress exists to a certain extent. The reason that these were designed in real life is because when somebody's getting fucking shot at, they're not like, I am going to be 0.7 feet
I'm not
away
the
from my
fourth
squad
man
leader.
in my squad, so I'm going to be
Nobody's
on
gonna
the
be
right
focused.
hand side.
They're going to be like, oh, I'm getting shot at. What are the bare, gross motor skill fundamentals that I retained in training? And that's how it works. All right? So none of this is absolute. No one's going to jump your shit if you go right instead of left. Mistakes happen. It's one of those things where these are just to give you guys a rough idea of how we can.
If you want, like, the actual, like, how at least I was taught when I did cadets, which is essentially ROTC in Australia, but the way we were taught for bushcraft was you would give everyone a number and you'd ask them to remember it. Evens go onto the right flank of the wedge, odds go to the left side of the flank, and when you're walking in a column, you are numbered up 1 through 10. So 10 being the last man, 1 being squad.
Number when you log in, open your map, it'll tell you.
When people remember their numbers, it helps out so much, especially with like casualty reporting and shit like that in general.
Yeah,
that actually kind of is a good segue to kind of go into.
C-tab, always carry one.
Yes, sir.
Somebody just talking through one. That's all you.
Before we move on from formations, the staggered column, like
No
versus
copy
a
on
column,
last.
when they should be used, stuff like that.
I would say a staggered column would be good on a roadway,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be good on a roadway because you could split your team essentially by twos down the side.
and if you
of the
take
roadway.
contact, the left
Right.
side can go to the left shoulder, the right side can go to the right shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then you get a
Another,
crossfire down the road.
Another good example for me, at least for columns, would be if we have some sort of armored escort.
Yeah.
And so, we got a Bradley in front of us that is moving through a field that we're moving through. I could see the merit in having some sort of staggered column behind it because it's covering both ends, and also
Right.
you both can break and move back to the Bradley if need be.
So I have
Plus-
a question
Makes
actually
sense.
on the formation thing. I know I'm late to the party, but just what I heard there. Have you guys ever actually had a situation where these were useful in the game?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because I've joined random squads before where the squad leader's like, all right, we're going to do this formation, or we're going to do that formation. And it's like, number one, this isn't your clan. We don't actually know that formation. And number two,
this sort of
you just all
isn't.
got shot by Russians.
This shouldn't be stuff that is like enforced. Like I know exactly the type of
A lot of
squad
people
lead you're
focus-
talking about,
yeah,
Glassjaw.
exactly.
Comes on to
Me
say
too.
the fancy words but doesn't know how to act.
And you're hitting the nail on the head right there.
Yeah.
That is the nail on the fucking head. What you just said right there. And if somebody, and that's what I would counter that by saying.
The squad lead
Yeah.
shouldn't be
Feel like that
telling you
person-
guys, alright, let's go to a wedge if you start taking contact as a file.
Okay, so Glass, you know how how he splits his fire teams, and he'll have like blue team on left, red team on right. Will
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
be moving
one
in a
team
wedge.
goes front, one team goes back.
Right, like,
support in the
that's-
middle.
that's when formations
that's
are-
a basic formation
exactly.
stuff. But I'm more talking like the wedge and column and stuff. Every time I've seen that, it's typically
we-
coming from a more clanny type squad leader,
Yeah.
and it doesn't.
Yeah,
actually do
the
anything
idea
for
of
us in
this
the fight.
training is to put
Right.
a bit more of the milsim in milsim. So
And
like a tactical blob in Arma 3 works just as well for the most case, apart from like AGS fire, than a wedge does. But that's because this is Arma 3, and we're
Yeah.
all
Well,
fucking
it also
elite
depends on the server
operators.
A little bit, so. like,
so
We
and
don't
I will
fight
say,
out of them correctly normally, so it just
Exa-
sort of makes them not
Exactly.
Who just
Yeah.
said that?
bingy.
Yeah. Okay. So he's got a point, and also Link's had a point. One, he is correct. We don't typically fight how I think we should fight in Arma. And what I mean by that is if you like just being fucking honest, okay? If Beanbag over here is fucking proned out looking west, and we start taking fire from the west, I don't really give a shit what he's shooting at as long as he's shooting.
Mhm.
Right? And the same concept with what Link said, okay? Like, if the SL's like, we need to wedge up and fucking come on, guys, and get your spacing, and that, typically what that fucking SL is focused on is, like, being a boss and not a
Yeah,
leader. if that
and
makes
looking
any
cool.
sense.
If your
It's kinda
SL's
what you guys were
yelling at
saying
you to
before
do
about, like, being
to
too hard
do
on top.
formations while you're under contact, they're more worried
Yeah.
about their dress uniform than they are about their BDU and combat
Or they
tactics.
feel
Yeah.
as if we get into some sort of formation that increases our survivability, when in reality, volume of fire and violence of action increases our
Yes.
survivability.
The only time a
Which is what we're
formation
doing.
Yeah,
increases your
formation is usually
survivability.
Right.
Yeah, the
Really
formations are supposed
is
to work
like
in
I
concert
said.
with the battle drills. So if you don't know the formations, then you don't know the battle drills either, and so the formation's going to seem useless.
I mean, you
But
can look
it only
up
seems that way.
like videos of combat mission shock force 2, I think is what it's called, something like that. Controlled Pairs plays a lot of it.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the more realistic like platoon lead simulators, and even in that the squads, like when they're moving, they don't really move in a perfect fucking wedge or anything like that. You know,
Yeah.
they get online and they get their guns shooting. Like, I know that's AI again, but you could easily code
And
AI
I
to
don't
be in a
know
perfect
the
wedge.
sophistication of the AI in this server.
The AI
not
will
not
do
the server.
wedges. The AI
Well,
will
I
do
know they'll
wedges.
but what I'm
the
saying
AI
is
just for
if
They will
mine, but
flank
they
you.
don't really react to
Yeah,
ours.
if
I'm not really talking about that so much as I'm talking about this. If there's an AI over by that Connex, if there's an AI right over by that Connex, and I fucking chalk off 3 rounds right now at the AI and miss every single one of those rounds, there is a behavioral shift in that AI.
Yes.
There is. There's
We
100%
do-
a behavioral
Yes.
shift. I've seen
We
it
do
before.
have
He crouches
land
down, he moves
suppression,
around.
yeah.
Yeah, when you
Yeah,
suppress
he
it,
goes
you can
into
move or
danger.
crouch to get
Yeah.
lower,
And what that really
Hmm.
boils down to is that creates a certain psychology, all right, with complete volume of fire when it comes to a squad-sized element like this moving. We got what?
Yes.
How many ARs do I have in this fucking squad? 1, 2.
Like three or four.
I think.
got at least 2 because there's a full 1-1 here.
No,
I think we
I
just
don't
have
mean
2.
ARs. Sorry, I'm talking about like saws.
He means
Yeah, we have
240s.
2.
Yeah, so we have 2. Okay.
249s.
249s,
249s
240s.
bucking down range at a fucking platoon of Russians, like with that lab suppression shit or whatever, that's gonna fucking change the dynamic of the battlefield. That's what that's gonna do, and that's what I kind of want to focus on because I've seen this constant thing, and I'm gonna shoot my gun. I've seen this fucking constant thing where I am with like 1-4, and it's a dude with a 240, and we take contact, and they're like, "Oh shit."
Oh yeah, the people that
Machine
use
gun
the
sniper.
And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
the guys who try and single
Look,
tap with the
okay,
240 to snipe are a little
I will tell
much.
you why they do that though, because they take the special tier 1 ones, the Mark 48 or whatever it is, and it's more accurate, like in the stats, but it's less accurate in a burst. You
Yeah,
won't
dude,
hit
that
shit with a burst
recoil
with the.
pattern is fucking
Anyone who's
disgusting.
using the
But
Mark
the
48
the
is wrong.
RHS
That, and
240
if you're
Bravo and Golf, dude, you can spray that shit
That-
down
that shit's a
range and
laser
you'll
You're a
hit
saw gunner?
someone.
if you're a saw gunner and you zipper some dude in the fucking face with a saw, congratulations, good kill. However, it's not your fucking job to make kills.
Yeah,
It's
the
your
Yeah.
job to
Saw's
put volume
gunner
down
is to
range and to,
suppress
and to
so that a
psychologically
rifleman
fuck
can
the
kill.
enemy. While dudes like
Hitting them
narcotics,
is a
if you have
bonus.
an AR, shoot them in the
I
face.
I think me and Rip could spend an entire hour talking about how machine gun teams are supposed to operate.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude. It's literally the base of a fire team, and people don't.
So we're gonna go into that here in a second because we're gonna start breaking down into kind of the fundamentals of battle drills, and not just battle drills, but essentially killing people, and how killing people is really easy when you apply this core concept to it. However, I am gonna run and grab coffee, so take 2 or 3 minutes.
In the meantime, I will go into more specific details about the line formation because I know this information and I'll be damned if I don't pass it along.
Hell yeah.
There's a couple different ways you can do the line formation. It doesn't have to be the squad lead up front first. At least how I was told in Aussie land, we have 2
Most formations
scouts.
don't have them up front.
Yeah, in Aussie land we have 2 scouts up front, an assault rifleman, and then the squad lead and medic. And then behind the squad lead and medic, the grenadier and the rest of the riflemen. And the 2 scouts are basically just riflemen, but their job is to look front, or look in that first 45 degrees front. And then, like I was saying before, the numbers, the 1, 2, 3, 4, all that stuff, unless you're the first man, your number, evens look right, odds look left. It's easy like that. You can remember it. You just log in, you either look at C-Tab or you ask your squad lead what your number is if they're doing things hardcore.
If you open up your map too, it's in the
Oh yeah, it's under.
Okay.
Wait, is it under team? Yeah, under team.
no, it's just in
It's
the top
the
right,
top,
up
yeah,
by
right
the
next to your name.
arrows and the symbols and
It'll
stuff.
say
Ah.
your.
Oh
Like
yeah.
mine says
unit.
117.
Yeah,
So
it'll
if we're
say
on
your
like a
unit
World
and
War
your
II
number.
map where we don't have androids and things, it's another way to check it.
I think it also shows in team everyone in the entire squad and
It
their
does.
number.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
So I hate C-Tab. I don't know why, but yeah.
What? Dude, C-Tab is so important.
Maybe it's because I constantly get messages for admin shit on it, and it's
Oh,
just
yeah, that'd be
Well, I was
annoying.
gonna say, if you just carry the micro dagger, you get all the C-Tab map advantages, but no messaging function. It's wonderful.
See, I always take a micro dagger.
Yeah, micro
But
dagger
yeah.
doesn't have a message function.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but that you take the C-Tab to see the people moving around and like see when people are down and shit. That's like
Well,
the most
it's like the
important part of it.
micro dagger works like that. It is in fact a C-Tab device. It's
Yeah,
just
but-
not the big rugged tablet or the Android.
So do you see? I've never
Mhm.
seen any.
You see their dots.
What?
Oh,
Yes.
on the
You
I
gotta
use it
look
all the
actually
time.
on the
How?
micro dagger though. You gotta
I
open the
actually-
micro dagger.
Okay, so are you putting the micro dagger in your clothes, or are you taking the micro dagger as your terminal?
Oh, I'm putting it in my
The one in
clothes.
your clothes is for linking with your vortex. The one as your terminal is your GPS C-Tab.
It's all the
Yeah,
same to
yeah,
me.
and then there's also
I
a
don't answer the
micro
text
dagger
messages.
programmer
You don't text
for
message me in a
2K
firefight.
radio.
So
You don't need that.
Yeah, you don't answer text in a firefight.
No.
I
All right, everybody, pull open your fucking maps and just go out to the far Skilla Bay area.
Just north of our current position.
Is it north? It's west.
Yeah, it's
Huh?
okay.
Over here in the water?
No, to the Skilla Bay. To the
Oh,
west.
I don't know who the fuck was pointing north, west. Yeah.
Skilla Bay. All right. So, anybody here ever serve in the army, like the U.S. Army?
no.
All right. So, I'm gonna fucking lay a little secret on you guys.
That's why
All
Rip
right.
is teaching.
The fucking I give my military career a C average. I was in the infantry for 4 years, dude. All right, like I'm not a
That's
fucking
four more
badass, I
than anyone
promise.
else here.
However, I'm gonna lay a little fucking secret on you, dude.
it's only
All
3
right?
more than me.
All this badass shit you see, like foreign forces and American forces doing, all this badass shit you see is a fucking 2-principle approach, and they just adjust it the slightest little bit. All of it, okay? And it is this. You ready?
No, release left click and then release control.
All right.
God, it's like explaining
Dude, guys,
technology to
I'm
my
retarded.
dad.
I'm retarded. Okay. Fucking stand by. Come here. All right. Let me get
And then he said, "Come here."
2 dudes.
What are
that
you trying
not,
to draw, Rip?
support by fire and assault.
I don't know the exact details of that one, unfortunately.
All right. Let me get 2 dudes that are not saw gunners right here on me. And then face upwind towards these guys.
Fix them and flank them. Fire maneuver.
Let me get a fucking saw gunner, and then 2 riflemen right here,
Oh man, I don't like this idea.
face down right at them. The rest of you guys, come over here. Right down here. Okay.
Don't worry, boys. Banshee's here. At least I saw them somewhere.
We like to have them on
I
standby.
think they're AFK by the arsenal, but they are there.
Sounds about right.
They tend to
So
wake
listen.
up when the shooting starts.
Yeah, that's their nature. So listen, these are our enemies. Martin and Zergling are our enemies. Stints and Benji. Those guys are what's called a support by fire element. Okay? You guys are all part of the same squad. Everybody else is an assaulting element. So you reach what's called an LOA. But here's how this is essentially going to work. So Stints, Benji, and Glassjaw being the support by fire element, they are suppressing the fire towards the enemy and keeping them down and keeping them focused on them. Okay? They're doing this, yeah, exactly. Bang, 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 the whole 9 yards and stuff like that. The assaulting element begins pushing up to what's called a limit of advance. Alright? They advance to more than likely right where I am currently. Alright? Oh, no, wait, hold on. Probably right about where I am. Right on line with these guys. Right on line with the bad guys. So come up here over to me. So, we'll say, yeah, Narcotics is the squad leader. He's running the fucking show here. This is what's going down, alright? Narcotics will make the push to begin pushing and assaulting the enemy element. Alright? But there will become a time, now you can kind of see where this is what's called an L-shaped ambush. We formed an L-shaped ambush based on this, right? So, this is the time where if this was an AI and these were real people, they'd start to realize, oh shit, we fucked up. The assaulting element begins to advance on these people, alright? You guys advance on them, they're shooting and stuff like that. Narcotics is going to give a pretty simple command to support by fire, which is cease fire. They give the cease fire command, support by fire begins to assault onto the position, direct, go straight up towards them. And congratulations, you just won a gunfight. That's as simple as, oh god. Are they dead? Oh no, they
I
did the
can
thing.
remove people's consciousness at will, so.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. I was like, oh my god, if they did that together in harmony without even planning it, that's badass. Okay, but listen. So, that can be adjusted in any single, like, if you got a guy on a hill, if you got 2 squads, if you got whatever the hell it is, okay? That can be adjusted for that, alright? But that is the base core principle of, like, killing people at war. That's it.
I like using Delta's method. Both my ARs are in support unit. That way, the support by fire would have been 2 saws.
Yep.
And the rest of us pushed, etc.
Exactly. Yep. And honestly, I probably would prefer that over what I did. Like, but it's that simple, man. It doesn't need to be any
it's
more
however the
complicated
squad
than that.
lead decides to
I
split
feel
it,
like
that's
it's important to also note what you should do if the support by fire crumbles to the enemy. If the support by fire gets pushed and crumbles, what do you do then?
At that point,
so.
for me
So
at
my
least.
base instinct would be to drop off 2 of my guys from the assault unit, create a new support by fire while we continue to push.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah,
That would be
the
a
only
good
downside to
contingency.
organizing that way is you don't actually know what unit may end up in contact. So sometimes it's hard to say that, a lot of times the first unit to get in contact will become the support by fire simply because they cannot move out of that position without getting schwacked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is why you
And
have an
something
AR
that
gunner
also
in each
is
fire
is
team.
a reality. something that is also a reality in all of these situations is sometimes you just need to be violent and fucking kill the people. That's what you
Yeah,
have to do.
sometimes taking your time to support and flank isn't worth it. You just all guns up, shoot the
Yep,
motherfucker.
just fucking
Yes.
gun up and push the contact.
Violence of action is a self-explanatory saying, and it's one you should say to yourself all the time.
And sometimes the move is to run the fuck away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
I agree
When
with
the
that.
squad
Yeah, we'll
lead
cover
says
that in
fall
battle
back,
drills.
fall back. Like don't. Oh, I can hold it here. No, you can't.
Yep.
Trust me, that call's being made for a reason.
And I'll tell you, man, like, if you guys, anyone here is aspiring to lead, whether it's platoon or squad or whatever, like a 6-6, if there is a 6-6 out there that judges you for telling them that, hey, this is too unsafe, this is fucking dangerous, my guys are gonna mass cas, this is a bad idea. If there's a leader out there in this server that would act that way to you, I would like to meet them so I can put them in their fucking place. Because it's just the
Yeah.
reality of it. Like,
As
sometimes
an
you have to be
admin,
like, hey, it's too dangerous.
if you cannot comply with the company's orders because of Op4 resistance, then you are not at fault. Yeah.
I expect, for me at least, I expect you guys to do whatever the hell it's going to do to make you guys efficient. And if you guys
If you-
all die, then you're
If
not
you
efficient.
genuinely
Just like the
think that
regular
someone
military,
is
any bad order, you can in fact, as the foot soldier, say no. Like you can.
So,
Yeah, from a serveral standpoint, technically, I guess you can't do that. But at the same time, the admins aren't fucking brick walls. We know when there's a bad leader, and we also know when a squad leader's being a brick wall. So
Yeah, but still, don't be scared to tell your squad leader that something's a bad fucking idea.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. If you see
Yeah.
something wrong with the plan, call it out. Even if you're just the
Yep.
private rifleman in the squad.
you can
have
always
that
challenge an
experience.
order.
and
You can always
just
challenge
how
an
I
order.
started off this training, where Glass, you weren't here, but here's the thing, dude. I know a large amount about a fairly small subject. If you know fucking something that is probably a better idea than what I'm saying, please tell me. You know, and if anybody takes that as an ego check, they got some growing up to do.
Been a couple
that's
times
really what
where
it
I've
boils down
called
to.
support by fire positions just for map knowledge from having played Chernardus enough that like I'd see a spot for my squad and they're like, "That's not a good spot. We need to move here." And they'd look at it and they'd either move it or not. But once we
I
got
like
there,
to
they'd
think
know
that
for sure.
Daisy knowledge is the reason why we steamrolled Chernarus.
I mean,
Yeah.
it probably is. To be fair,
People
We
know
that
Electro
map
like the
pretty
back of their hand. That shit fell within an hour.
well. Yeah, you're like, oh, enemies by the hotel. Everybody knew exactly where to put their guns, man.
Yeah.
But you were going to see, as we go through battle drills moving forward from this, that almost all of these battle drills, if they involve killing the enemy, transform into a support by fire and assault element. It's pretty simple. And the reason that is because it's simple and it works almost every time. And if it doesn't work, then you choose a new placement for it, and guess what? It usually works.
If you're not shooting at the enemy's shooting at you, and guess who's gonna die in that situation?
So, yeah.
Yeah, they're really accurate and they got big bullets, guys.
Yep.
Stand by just one.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised with Ace if like 50 Action Express did the same damage as 50 fuck, I forgot the official name.
BMG?
Barrett, BMG, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the
Shooting
shit in
their
Ace
ass
isn't
out
just
of your
hard
people, dude.
coded to the caliber value of it, like reloading, etc.
So what we're going to go after next is react into contact, and it's essentially the same as what we just did. And it's because everything's kind of founded off that and stuff. So I'm going to use this tree line right over here to the west kind of as our point. So
If you need Op4 actors, I can provide you Op4 actors.
no, towards the end we could probably do that. That'll actually get some trigger time in. But narcotics,
Yeah.
do me a favor and just get your guys, and it doesn't have to be one of the formations we just went over. It doesn't fucking matter to me. But get your guys in a travel formation walking towards that wood line. Just you guys are, heading past that wood line to go and assault an objective 2 kilometers from here.
Alright, so yeah, everybody hop into
It's probably getting to a wedge pushing forward. Evens on left, odds on right if you guys remember your numbers.
So you guys are making your way down here, and go ahead and stop.
So a wedge like this is going to be a big flying bee, guys, basically. So.
Yeah, sorry, the geese flying south for the winter, that's what it looks like. I just realized now we never really went over the actual wedge itself. We kind of just...
Yeah, and
You
a
guys
lot of
got
times a squad will do it as like both fire teams will wedge, and then that way you don't have this massively long thing. But it's either way.
Honestly, we could split into fire teams too to make this a lot easier.
If you want to do that, let's do it.
Alright. Well, I'm number 7 in the Bravo team. So.
Yeah. Have my odds go red, evens go blue.
Can't do colors.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, there's no colors on the training server.
Ah.
Huh, okay.
But remember, if you don't know your squad number, just open your map. It's in the top right corner. It'll say your squad, like 1112, and then it'll show a number. That's your number on CTAB.
Everybody good?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you're sitting here in this position and stuff like that, and Beanbag over here is like, hey, what the fuck is that over by that radio, or that candy cane over there, the Bravo candy cane? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? That range post, yeah. So he's like, dude, I think I just saw something. Okay. So this is reacting to contact where the contact does not see you. All right. So the first thing that narcotics would likely do is say, you know, everybody get down, take a knee. Stents, I love you, bye. So everybody's gonna get down, take a knee. They're gonna probably start directing their way towards that contact, right? The only problem is we can't all hyper-focus on something, so maybe the guys on the right push out to the right and start covering security. And I'm not talking from a doctrine perspective right now, I'm just talking from common sense. If I was, you know, sitting here in your guys' shoes on the right side of this formation, and somebody was calling out contact to the left, well, I know I got at least 3 guys that are going to be looking left, so I'm going to start looking right. That's just filling in the gaps, right? You just want to fill in these gaps and find spots where there's holes in your security, and you want to be able to figure that out. So Narcotics is going to make his best faith effort to identify UPID, the whole 9 yards, and inform 1-6 or 2-6 or whoever the fuck his platoon leader higher element is of what the hell they got going on. It might be a single, let's say it's 2 dudes out there just sitting there, and they're just on patrol, okay? So Narcotics now has to make a decision of what he wants to do because he's squad leader, right? So you guys are pushing forward to this objective. It's not like you're going to break contact. It's not like you're a MACV SOG team or some shit like that and you're going to run away from this combat. You guys are probably going to make the decision to fucking push these guys' buttons and take them out. That's fine, okay? But you guys have the position of advantage right now because they don't see you and you see them. So these dudes right here, it's Glassjaw, Beanbag, and Narcotics. So Narcotics will probably say, okay, yeah, we're going to take those guys out. He's going to probably identify who his trigger pullers are going to be. Likely be somebody that's suppressed, so probably Glassjaw and Narcotics, right? We don't want to make a bunch of noise. And again, not doctrine here. I'm just thinking from common sense. That's something that has been lost in kind of the shuffle over the years. Like, we think of military members as people that just blindly follow orders. Like, use your common sense. It doesn't make sense if we are pushing to an objective to announce our position a mile out because Beanbag here lights off a fucking half a box with a saw. So this is reacting to contact. It's pretty simple, right? I mean, does anybody have any questions here? No. Yeah. So
I just want to add that in a situation like this where we're in a wedge and we're told to stop, immediate reaction should be to take a knee, and whoever the back 2 guys on the wedges are should probably watch our rear.
Yeah, so the dudes at the rear should be watching the rear. He's 100% correct. What makes this different and suddenly much more urgent is when we run into a situation where now we are
Hey,
no
thank you
longer
for following
reacting to contact
Captain
that we
Run.
see that doesn't see us. Now we're reacting to contact that sees
Endgun?
us, so we're in a fucking
Endgun?
gunfight. So we're taking fire. What should be the first thing that happens for dudes on the ground, right?
I like the accurate
It's
simulation
cover.
of no one
Just
calling
fucking
out
fire
that
back.
contact walking
Fucking fire back.
past.
100% fire back. So this is where the opposite, as before, we didn't want Beanbag touching his trigger. No, now
The
we want Beanbag
instructor's
touching his
talking.
fucking trigger. Now Beanbag needs to be prone out and laying down fucking waste towards these assholes, and at the very least suppressing them, because it's what that's doing is it's giving everybody else a chance to fix sights on
As do
target,
I.
accurately engage, to maneuver, to communicate, everything. All of that is happening because Beanbag is sitting here laying in with a saw. Now, it's going to be hard for you guys on the right because you're going to have to resist that urge to turn around and start laying in waste. I mean, you're going to. However, somebody needs to sit there and pull security to the right. Somebody still needs to sit there and pull security to the rear. All right? And when you're in these positions, you kind of have to put yourself in the position where you're taking the shit job that nobody wants. And what you'll notice is if everybody has that mindset, then every once in a while, you won't have the shit job. So if somebody's covering the rear and covering the right, then we can focus our attention on the threat. So with Beanbag sitting here laying waste into these dudes, then Narcotics, Gop Treza, Glassjaw, just based on what I can see, and probably Lazzy can turn around and accurately engage these dudes. Now the communications for Beanbag are going to be crucial in the very beginning stage of this because he recognized the contact, right? So if I'm sitting here and I'm Beanbag and we're walking, and I'm like, oh shit, there's fucking contact right over there. Are those bad guys?
Yeah, those are 2 Russians.
Okay, Jesus Christ. So, I can turn around, if I'm Beanbag, I can turn around and be like, contact 220 by the rocks. You know, they're probably going to announce the fact that they see us by shooting at us, but let's say we do. Can we shoot at these guys, Lynx?
Be my guest.
Okay. So, prone the fuck out. So they start shooting at us, okay? Without hesitation, Beanbag, you need to start lighting those fucking guys up. Just lay into it, dude. Talking guns. There you go. You guys start lighting back. Light it up, light it up.
Contact down, contact down.
It's about as simple as that. There's really nothing complicated about any of this shit.
Which anyone who was paying attention, every time that 249 was going off, they were moving, trying to get to cover. I was just shooting at them without a single shot back.
Yeah, the only time we took fire back is when that 249 stopped firing for a second. Now, he's got barrel heat issues, alright? Honestly, Beanbag, I wouldn't have shot nearly as much as you did, as far as, like, the cyclic rate of fire, right? Typically, like, how I learned in the military with the saw is you say, die, motherfucker, die, and from the time it takes you to say, die, motherfucker, die in your head, that's your burst, so... In your head, just die, motherfucker, die, and every single time you stop and give a pause for your barrel to not accumulate so much heat. However, he did fine. I mean, he suppressed the enemy as was intended. And it gave Glassjaw the ability to turn around and put sights on target without worrying about rounds whizzing by his head and engage the enemy back accurately.
I just
That's what
want to
suppressive fire
interject,
is.
while realistically that is correct, on the server the overheating is fairly lenient. You can maintain a burst up to I would say a full mag burst will start to cause you troubles in the second mag.
When you say mag, are you talking about a box or a mag?
I'm
Box.
talking
Holy
a
shit.
box of AR.
Yeah, I don't start jamming until about a full box.
Then fucking rip that bad boy. Screw it then. Alright, fine. But
It
that's
is
it, man.
significantly worse with the suppressor, however.
So this is what we'll do. Get a
Which
fresh
you're not
box
allowed
in
to
there.
have.
Beanbag. Narcotics, take your boys back. Fucking probably 150 meters back to the east, and then just walk this thing. And there's going to be contact somewhere out by that general area in this tree line. And depending on what that contact does, react to it as you see fit. But we need you guys to push west about a click from this position. Go push back east and then walk back west. Sorry.
About right here.
Yeah, that works. Lynx, give me 2 back. Like I said, you guys should be pushing 40-degree sectors, okay? So when you're walking, just slice off 40 degrees and keep an eye on it.
You can start walking.
You guys can be at
Don't
the low
forget
ready.
you can use your alt key to free look around without changing your direction of movement too.
Yep. And let's make this realistic. You guys would be running. You guys wouldn't be fucking walking through this field. You guys would be hurrying up and getting to your OBJ. Lynx, they're running away.
Yeah.
They're smart.
You want some realism?
Contact.
Hop online on this tree line. ARs, let's get some fucking fire down. Take fire from approximately 299 bearing.
Where's that saw at?
Odds, hold security right. Narcotics is hit, needs bandage.
Gun up.
Have my other saw gunner maneuver up a little closer into the tree line, see if you can get better eyes on. Keep getting fire up.
Come on the saw gunner to the tree line. Lazzy, come here.
Let's have my odds take the tree line off to the right, keep advancing to the north. Keep that saw gun up.
They're moving into the AR's line of fire way too much. Yeah, I noticed that. I'm gonna pull them up for it. Once, you know, the quote-unquote combat simulation is done.
Oh.
Also,
Alright,
Benji
well,
is
the
just...
saw gunners are sounding off. Let's start pushing off north, see if we can get eyes on this contact. Saw gunners keep up fire.
MG loading.
I'm gonna revive Ripco. You're welcome, Rip.
Yeah. We got shots back bearing 308.
Thanks, Boo. I got clapped.
Yeah, let's get some shots in those tree lines.
It's kind of funny just how much fire they're putting down for a 3-man team that is now only one person.
Just as a tidbit here, as a saw gunner, I don't actually know where this contact is. So in my mind, I'm shooting at where I would hide if I was somewhere over there.
Alright, guys with rifles, let's keep advancing northwest.
As a tip for that, if you can't see him with the saw, aim a little high. Bullets over the head still suppress.
Benji, stay on station. Let's have that other saw gunner move up with us.
There we go. Good lord, being in the zoo
In the fire.
he makes us look so bad. Yeah. And considering like this is like you guys are supposed to know what you're doing now. This we don't have to pay resources for the bullets on the lib server. Look,
Are they both dead?
I would
I
suggest
believe
it.
they are. I think their bodies despawn too, so we'll just call Index, and BD is 2 times dead. So fall in real quick over here on me in the middle of the road.
I'll remove them.
Yeah. Like, perfect. That's fine.
Yeah, I got
Like,
hit.
Yeah, that's
a
gonna
good
happen.
analogy that I
Yeah.
tend to tell like new officers that I'm field
I got
training and
hit
shit, dude.
before we even started fucking opening up.
It's I got shot in the fucking face. I had to have links point up with admin. This is sausage, man. That's what it is. It's sausage at the end of
I
the
didn't
day.
know
Every
when
single
we were
time.
supposed to like notice those guys either, because I
Yeah.
definitely seen them like running away.
Oh,
from us
if you had
when we
seen them
picked
all the way
up,
back
but-
there, then fucking screw it, engage.
That was three
but it's-
three men.
Yeah. It's sausage, dude. Like it looks disgusting when you make it, and it's gross, but it tastes good in the end. And that's the only thing I can really compare any sort of combat to like this.
Yeah.
Is you how many people took rounds?
I did.
Say 3, I think, including
3.
you.
Okay. Yeah. Fucking shit. It all worked out in the end, right? I mean, fuck, we're not mass cas, and 3 guys are dead.
Yeah.
So from here, I mean, you guys know the administrative function of this. You do your
Wait,
fucking
is he
lace report. You do
talking
check back
about
to higher
radio
command. Hey,
or
this is what
something?
happened,
Oh,
and you
shit.
continue your mission onward.
No,
That's-
he's just
Yeah,
talking
he's
in
talking
boost.
local.
Who's talking? I can't hear him.
Ripco.
You can't hear me, baby?
Oh.
Can you hear me on 31?
Yeah. I can't even see you.
Restart your teams.
He's
Oh,
behind you.
that
Oh,
might
you
be
might
a
have
whole different
Headbug.
issue.
Ripco, do your ace head bug fix.
Scramble
Run
pace.
as a speed setting,
I mean, I was going to. I was
sprint
waiting for you to
or
get your
jog.
loadout.
Right.
Oh,
But
no,
it's
you're
just to
good,
say, like, you've got fine control
I
over
use it
how
Yeah.
fast.
Something
you
I-
urban areas
okay,
usually. Like if I need
something
to
I'm
see
gonna
somewhere quick
bring
and I, like,
up,
sprint over
um,
there.
Rip, did you
Move
grab
into
the
a little
radio?
corridor or something, I'll use it.
Something I'm going to bring up is that a lot of people, including Rip, were crossing in front of the assault AR's field of fire, and the AR was like shooting between friendlies. That's no good.
Yeah, I noticed that at one point.
Yeah,
That's why I called
I'm,
on radio.
I'm
when I was
used
crossing.
to it, so I kind of watch out for it and let off my trigger. But yeah, a lot of these guys are gonna fucking blow the back end of your head off, so be careful with that.
Yeah, that's why, like, when I noticed it shooting past me there, I called it out on the radio that I wanted to cross, so he would stop for an extra second.
Yeah, but like when the AR is 10 meters behind you, he needs to move up. He can't fire, even if you tell him to brake to cross. Like, especially when the AR didn't know where the contact was, and most of the team is in front of him, and they're still prone in a bush.
Like, the second to last day of the Trinaris map, I dropped patches because of that. He just ran right in front of my 240 without saying a word.
Yeah, no, that's different. Like when it's like a meter in front of you, yeah, sure. But like when the AR is prone in a bush, unable to see anything because they're just suppressing fire, when the squad moves up and then starts crossing their field of fire, the AR isn't gonna know shit. Like the AR was legit, like this far behind you guys, prone in the grass, bipoded up, just laying down rounds. Like,
Yeah, at one point they were cracking so close past me that I
Yep.
was suppressed. by
it's a
my own
miracle
team.
none of you got hit.
I mean, we did get hit, just not by the ARs.
Yeah.
Fucking,
I mean, in
Next-
general, that yeah, it all kind of collapsed in a weird space.
Hmm.
So the next
Well,
thing
it's
we're
'cause
gonna go
the
over
Russians were
is
smart and they pushed for cover, which is over here.
well, yeah, and we all kind of floated north. And
Right.
That
That's
kind
why
of shit
this is-
happens.
Yeah, and we're also moving like as a full squad rather than
Yeah.
as fire team elements, which is
Right.
why there's a breakdown. So you would
Yeah.
tend to have better lanes of sort of
The
fire.
only
like,
time
as
the
you were
AR
explaining
can
in the fire
fire
maneuver,
when
you know?
behind you is if they're in
Yeah,
an
it'd be a lot
established
easier if I
SBF
could
on a
get that
hill.
right
Yeah,
there,
if
do
they're
that routine
well
first.
above you
Yeah.
Go from there.
and behind
make-
you,
I
then
make
it's
things pretty
fine.
We
You're
don't
not
have
in
to-
their
hit your
you're not in their
LOA,
cone
can't
of
do
fire
that.
then.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
yeah.
You're in
Then once you hit
defilade.
your LOA, that wasn't communicated either. I didn't get a lift fire So I kept shooting purposely because no one told me to lift fire, just to demonstrate the fact that that needs to be called, or a shift fire where I'll push to the left because you're shoving the enemy, you know, opposite of the direction that you're advancing on it from, and then we kind of box it in.
Well, yeah, and like I saw that, and I'm in the SL role, but Narco was SL for that little exercise, so I wasn't gonna say anything.
Was that not the point, though, to have a machine gunner in this tree line right here, suppressing this
Well,
tree line right
after-
here
after
as
the
we
assault
advance?
Right.
team pushes
But as you
to
begin to
as-
clear the
as,
kill box,
Lynx
yeah, you don't
pointed
want your.
out, once we got so advanced that the AR was shooting through us, he's no longer effective. He needs to shift.
Who was
Needs to
pushing
lift
through
or
the
shift.
AR fire? We were pushing.
Me and you.
The
I
entire
literally walked
squad
right
moved
through.
up to the tree line and then dispersed amongst the tree line that the machine gunner was firing into.
I think we
So-
assumed we would be fighting to our 12, but the contacts moved
Marco,
to
when
our
me and
3,
you got
and
up
it
to
and it
here,
shifted the fight.
I was
the-
on the
the
other side
bullets
of the road.
weren't you the one that pushed into that bunker right there?
No.
No, that was me,
Oh,
buddy.
This
okay.
was well before any
Yeah,
of
we
you
were-
got
Me and
out of that
person
tree line
the
this way.
249 was literally cracking between us.
No, yeah, I was trying to have the rifleman push off to the north, across this road, and then push through this tree
Which
line.
that
to
was
advance.
communicated over the
Yeah.
radio. There was
But-
also the communication that he wanted ARs to move up to the rocks, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well,
It
you
did
guys
eventually
wanted-
happen, but
Remember
it
those
also
days.
happened way too late. That call
Yep.
should have came earlier.
He
Yeah.
also specifically called for only one of them to move up while the other kept suppressing.
Right. I wanted one to stay in that tree line. I wanted another AR to move up with us to the north
He's
as we
ripping the
were
vape.
pushing.
You hear
But
I stayed in the tree line. I was
yeah,
right
no,
over there on those
he's
rocks.
ripping
yeah,
fat
Benji, you
dabs.
did perfect.
You ripping fat dabs over there, bro?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, no. Like I said, sausage. And ARs like this are good because it brings to point, like, you know, things that we could do better and also things that we did good that we could capitalize on next time. We have 2 people heading our way. I don't know. Oh, they look like stalkers.
Yeah, it's Stalker.
However, fucking, I think that looked, for the most part, pretty good.
And
No
I feel like
major
it would be, again, a lot more organized if we had fire teams. People would kind of know what to do, how to do it, and where to maneuver, stuff like
It's
that.
the reason
It'd
they
be a
call
lot
these
cleaner.
battle drills as well, drills, right? So the expectation is that you would do these repeatedly until you sort of had a muscle memory and a working fluid, you know.
Well, you know what it is I think this guy's coming to training, and this guy's bringing him over.
No, these are
clap
just the
except for
stalkers.
your-
They got
clap.
bored.
Clap. Clap.
I'll do that.
It's not. I don't think my mic's
Alright,
catching it.
Yeah, I can't push the talking clap.
I'm so glad I'm here, you guys.
This is
Alright,
Lynx,
now,
right? Alex?
Yes. Hello, Fubar.
Hi, everybody.
Who this?
It's
This
Ripco.
is Ripco. Alright.
Basically, what it comes down to is self-awareness, and remember that the SL can't make every call for every individual person. They can run fire teams and medic, but not every
Thanks,
individual.
mate.
Yeah.
Thinking of doing a stalker training
I'm from
next
the Northeast.
Saturday.
Yeah, I know you're from
Yep. Sure. We can organize
that
that,
way,
man.
yeah, I'm from
We're
Boston.
running this one right now, though.
I grew up in Hartford, dude, but I live
Yep.
very far away now.
I'll just listen in the back.
Yep. If you want.
Alright, so the next thing we're going to cover is breaking contact, the exact opposite of what we just fucking did. Okay?
Yeah, I agree,
So,
Captain, but
break
also when
contact
the
is kind of,
AR can't see anything because they're
very fancy
prone
way
in
of
long
saying
grass, then
retreating.
they don't know that
There's
the
times
squad is
where
in
it
front
makes
of
sense
them.
to retreat. Alright, there's an MBT or something, then we're going to want to not be there. But before we go over breaking contact, I kind of want to go over the core principle that is involved with breaking contact, and that's bounding. I think everybody's probably got some sort of grasp on bounding, but we'll just go over it pretty briefly. Can anybody tell me, just out of curiosity,
You're gonna need to use your radio.
Switch to shouting, switch to yelling, mate.
that bush right over there, is that cover or concealment?
Concealment.
What about that? These 2 tanks right here, if I'm hiding behind those.
Cover.
Explosive.
Cover.
They're not
Really
actually
bad
explosive, but you
cover.
think they were.
So we have a firm grasp on what cover and concealment is. Okay, we know that if the bullet can go through it and kill us, it is fucking concealment, and if the bullet cannot go through it, and we can hide behind it and take some sort of firm structure against bullets, then it is cover. Okay.
Metal and stone are your best friend. Wood can still typically be penetrated.
In game.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because like
Yeah.
in real life, this would be concealment. Like this tank
Yeah,
right here
that
would be
those
shoot
things are
right
so
through
cool.
that.
They just punch right through. But in the game, that's cover.
So
You can consider them to be full of water for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can make grown-up choices and know that if the best you can get is concealment, you just need to take certain precautions.
Yes,
to understand
that is also
like,
true. They should probably fall to fire team leads to say good effect or you're no longer effective, move up. Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to make them aware of it.
My fucking
Is
bio on Discord is
was
so
my
shut to the
point.
engine block. No, so
Shot the shot.
so
It's a nice Jeep, man.
bounding is essentially covering each other while you move to a certain position while either under fire or under the threat of being under fire. So
It's also referred to as leapfrogging sometimes.
yep. So in the army they used to make us do this cool thing where we'd have to literally be like, I'm up, he sees me, I'm down. I'm up, he sees me, I'm down. Like, and so the notion behind that is if there is a guy, Glassjaw, just crouch and point in. So if there's a guy sitting there waiting for you to pop out, from the time it takes you to say, I'm up, he sees me, I'm down, is the same amount of time that it takes for him to achieve sight picture and decide to fire at you. So,
Yeah.
the time it takes you to say, I'm up, he sees me, I'm down, somebody could have some sort of acquisition. Now,
There's-
we're dealing with AI and shit, so it's different, but...
There's a reason why we call this Milsim Light, because in like some people take this to the absolute extreme and do like actual Milsim where they are running 5 meters, going prone, seeing if they can see anyone, getting up, running 5 meters, going prone.
Necessary.
Because that's what they
I don't-
do. I can show you
Yeah.
videos of the ADF doing that, and that shit seems tiring as fuck.
Well, and also, like, there's a certain amount of risk and calculated risk that you take. Like, I don't run kidney armor in my, like, side plates in my plate carrier. It's because I take a certain amount of risk to be comfortable. It's the same concept. Like, fucking... There's a certain amount of inherent risk.
Here.
So, what I'm saying with this is essentially one person or two people or three people cover while one person or two people or three people move, and then those people cover while other people move, and so on and so forth until you've broken contact.
Ideally, one AR and one rifleman should be on the covering team every bound, but that's ideal.
Exactly. So if you
Wait,
find
is that
yourself in
you,
a position
Glassjaw?
where... What?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, dude.
If you find yourself in a position where, you know, shit's gone tits up, then make it work. But what we're going to do right now, and I'm having a hard time finding... I guess let's come over here. Side note, do you guys know if somebody refers to an LDA, what they mean by that?
I actually don't know that one.
Is it like location something?
It's called a linear danger area. So if somebody says LDA up front, pretty much what it means is a fucking road or a field, somewhere where you're not getting any cover or concealment. So you're gonna have an LDA when you bound an Overwatch back. And stuff like that, and that's gonna change the dynamic of how you do things. Does anybody else want to take squad leader, or are they still cool with narcotics doing it?
Marco can do it.
I mean, yeah, it don't matter.
I'm technically in the role, but
Glassjaw, yeah, Glassjaw's the actual squad lead now.
Glassjaw,
He didn't
take
have one
SL.
before.
Alright, what are we doing?
So you guys have taken. Come over here and let's just get on. So find some cover or concealment. Doesn't matter to me, but get a hasty line set up. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just essentially like we've taken contact and we need to get the hell out of here.
Contact facing where?
The contact would be facing to the northeast. So you guys are going to be fleeing to the south, southwest, southeast.
I'm gonna be
Well,
the
that actually changes where you reposition.
And you guys can spread out wider than you're spread out, and then we can fucking. Oh shit. Hey, Lynx.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Do you not have a radio?
No, I don't, but I'll be right back anyway.
No, just take my short range.
Okay. Ooh, a prick 152.
Guns up, gents. Guns fucking YOLO it. Deploy them to no shooting.
Okay, so yeah, you guys are facing to the northeast. You've taken contact over here, and you've decided, yeah, we're overwhelmed, or it doesn't make any sense to push this contact. So we're gonna go ahead and break contact, and we're gonna break contact probably to the southeast because the southwest is wide open territory. Okay, so where's he at? Where the hell did he go? Glassjaw. Okay, Glassjaw is gonna be essentially the orderer of this entire sequence of events, but what's gonna happen here is you guys are gonna break contact either by 2s or 3s or 4s or whatever. What the fuck was that?
Ignore it. Ignore
So you
it.
guys are gonna break contact by 2s or 3s or 4s or whatever the fuck you guys decide, and you're gonna break contact all the way back to that Alpha and Bravo
Nikolai
post over there by those
Molotov.
rocks.
What a name. Yes.
So once you guys hit those rocks, then you can.
We also have
formation and
Grigory
just take it all off what you're doing, but this is a
Borishev
break contact
and
battle.
Adkadiv Kirigi.
There's two types of ways we could do this. One is under
Kirikin.
fire and one is not under fire. So one would be the
Oh boy, this is where the fun
Overwatch
begins.
element would be shooting,
Yeah.
and the founding element would be moving, and then the other way to do it would be the Overwatch element would be holding security, whereas the founding element would be moving. So for this one, we're gonna do you guys
Russians,
just
man.
holding security, so no shooting or anything like that. And then we'll spice it up a little bit as time goes on. But yeah, so Glassjar, are you tracking where you need to go? Okay, so Lynx is gonna watch you guys do this, and I'll be right back.
Alright, so how I would have this move is Benji and Zerg, you're going to be the defense team, standing back, keeping fire. Narco, Gop, and Martin, and me are going to start falling back first. I'm going to throw as much smoke as I can to conceal, and that's how we would do this. Depending on the contact, I'm picking Zerg to be defender, because I want him to place slams or mines if there's a tank chasing us. So, on my smoke, everyone but Benji and Zerg starts moving back south. Once all of us are in hard cover, we call them back. Zerg, Benji, fall.
Set.
Just chasing them down with a BMP.
You guys see the route the tank pushed behind us?
The slow menacing roll. Yeah.
Personally, I feel that if we actually had Zerg dropping a slam or a charge there, we would have definitely blown that fucker.
Actually, I put a slam, but missed.
What the fuck?
So the way slams work is you actually have to set them to a timer where you're clacker, and then trigger them.
You can also set them for other things like motion, shit like that.
I believe that's only the little mines. I'm not sure.
The slams
it's
can be
not.
set
It's
to
the slams.
magnetic.
There you go, magnetic, nice.
I thought it was a mine.
once you set it down, you actually have to set it. So next time you'll know that. But yeah, you would once you set it down,
They
you
were
trigger
set.
it to
The
magnetic or
BMP
whatever.
just dodged them.
Okay.
I just actually set the magnetic on one of them. That BMP just needs to shift to the right, probably 10 meters. Yeah, kind of like that.
I'm pretty sure they kind of don't fucking work.
Wow, that's sad. It just
Oh,
ran it
that
over.
that is super lame.
Oh god!
That's good to know. Guess you're better off just placing an M12 block and blowing it with a clacker.
In my experience,
Now we know for
yes.
the future.
And you can still blow that thing with the clacker and it still works well.
Ah! 5-second timer!
One off.
Ow!
BMP is fine.
Alright, fall back
I'll
on
put
me over
another
here.
one.
This training's going well, isn't it?
Molotov gives no damn about
Alright,
mines.
over back to me.
I would like you to know that the driver's name was Nikolai Molotov.
Cool.
Oh!
I defused it.
That's why we have demolition experts, gents.
Jesus!
Did anybody see my suggestion about explosive specialists?
That slam just went off in this guy's fucking face.
Turns out putting metal pliers near a magnetic attack munition is not a good idea.
Ooh, what a thug. Lakes, I didn't see how they did. They did good.
They did well.
Link, can
I don't know who utilized smokes, but that was good stuff.
Other than
Resist-
retreating for
Yeah, but yeah,
no
but-
reason, other than the fact the squad leader threw smoke.
Couldn't hear you.
I wasn't talking. Oh, you mean during the op?
Okay, so hey, let's do the same thing. Let's get into the wood line and get some security set up, looking to the north, and then there's actually going to be some contacts this time. Soft contacts, please.
Yes.
I'll be up for 30 minutes more if you need anything medical.
Hey, Fubar, you smell like roses.
Yes, because I'm a pilot. I'm not the one.
Jesus Christ.
Don't worry, it's not a hind. It's just Jeems.
Alright, back in the wood line, get security looking to the north. And then, glass, it's going to be breaking contact with actual contact.
Did you want this a live fire or a dumb fire exercise?
Live fire.
Did you want it actually overwhelming or fake overwhelming?
Just enough guys to make it so they have someone to shoot at, please.
It shall be a fair fight.
Your terms are acceptable. Jesus, getting fucked up.
Hey, consider it a hot oh no, man.
When this training going on, you're not allowed to fly over it.
Alright, Glassjaw, you guys are breaking contact.
I actually got to run. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, somebody else take over.
I mean, I can do it again if nobody else will.
Do it.
Cool. Alright, MGs start opening up. Get smoke out towards contact, 3-9.
They're dominating you guys right now.
Alright, machine guns keep opening up, riflemen, let's start pushing back to the south.
Drags in platoon. Gotcha, MBT it is, Ripco.
Get across the road.
It's an even fight, it's roughly 10 dudes versus roughly 10 dudes. So, yeah, there's a lot more than 10 dudes here, so maybe 2 squads.
And once you get across the road, get guns up on contact. Machine gunners, let's move.
This has been way too long of a break and fire. Start shooting.
Guys, keep an eye on your friendlies. Make sure you don't leave a guy behind.
MGs, as soon as you get back here, open back up.
Fuck, missiles down, team.
Beanbag, you hit?
Do we have any smokes left?
Yes. Yes.
Alright, let's get smokes out northeast. We're gonna push across the road east.
Roger.
MGs, take this corner where I'm at. MG, well, once you guys are set, start opening up. We're gonna start moving.
Look how smart the AI is. They're kind of not crossing at the breach over the road. They're kind of actually moving to the left and hugging the wall.
If they were, they were 1-2.
Look at
I don't
this.
see them on CTAP.
Look at this.
As soon as that jam's cleared, we move. Okay, alright, everybody else besides machine gunners, let's move east. Machine gunners, start opening up.
Come on, guys. Good call there. I would have told them to get in the tree line, like he just said.
Once we're across the road, get set, start opening up. You are not a machine gunner, move.
Pretty interesting to see them move from this perspective. We usually only see them when they're caught in the open or something. Yeah, the force you see is quite often a lot smaller than the force that's actually there, as you're seeing by how many units here are behind cover. Yeah. Let's just say that one lone person that went through was the idiot that didn't realize the squad was preparing a breach at the wall.
I'll hit that list.
Yeah, I'm hit, I'm fine.
Oh, Ribco just got murdered.
MGs get set, open up. We're gonna keep pushing south.
Index.
Index.
I gotta
Size,
back real quick.
clear out of ammo.
Index, stop shooting. Alright, come meet me over by this Alpha candy cane.
Sure, that's fair. They are Russians.
Okay, so some things right off the bat that I noticed is we had some guns go down. That kind of shit's kind of out of our control, right? I mean, not something that we're going to be able to... And that's a very real possibility looking at a gunfight, right? And that's something that we're just going to have to adjust to and make do with. Where's Lazzy? So what I noticed was...
They left Wargan behind. Other than that, it was pretty solid. I don't know what the hell Wargan is doing, but he's not part of this training. He's in Banshee.
And I noticed Lazzy picking up the slack after both of those guys' guns.
Wargan, are you actually participating in the training, or are you just doing your thing?
I'm just watching.
Okay.
He's our medic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I noticed Lazzy picking up the slack for those two when their guns went down. Like I said, that's kind of something that's outside of our control. We can't really control that, and it's a very real possibility to happen out there. Good movement, good footwork. work. Good utilization of smokes without any prompting from any instruction.
Little
so
slow in
that
the
maybe
maneuvering
having come
though.
back and seeing people
I
throwing
can
smokes and shit,
agree.
that's just good ingenuity. Just
I
makes
think
sense.
they were
who
pretty.
can
They were fast
give any
enough
sort of other insight
for
on how those
it
work?
being their first time, I guess. They were
Okay.
still prompt,
I
just
yeah, I
not
think it'd be a lot
fast.
easier with fire team.
What the
That's
shit?
all.
Yeah.
Why drifting?
Okay.
Side.
Do you guys feel
Unit-
like you
unit
can
control.
implement this on lib and implement this on lib and make it work and probably do it safely?
Definitely.
Yes.
We'll move on to the next one then. The next one's going to be establishing security at a halt. We're going to blow through that really quickly because it's fucking pretty simple. And then
Harbor up.
Yeah, Ripco, God knows we need more of that training.
That's what we call it.
Fucking setting up security.
Yeah. So, and then after that, we're going to move into
Yeah, need to
some
make a point to
CQB,
remember
small unit
that.
tactics inside,
It's the first time
thesis.
they've ever gone
Alright.
through this, so.
So, establish security at halt's pretty fucking simple, guys. So, just follow me.
Are we doing a harbor or are we doing something else?
Doing what?
A harbor, essentially 360.
Oh, we can do that.
Like, a
What I
proper
plan on
one.
doing is- yeah, what I plan on doing is staggered column,
Okay.
security at a halt, and then
You do your thing.
dismount security, and then helicopter landing zone security, and then if you want to teach whatever the hell you're talking about.
Ooh, helicopter landing
Yeah, I
security.
mean,
I see an
Harbor up is
opportunity
just
for
3-man
myself.
teams in
go,
3
Bird.
different directions,
Yeah.
with the squad lead in the middle.
So let's do a scenario first. Narcotics, get your guys in a staggered column on the roadway, kind of walking, and we're gonna just establish security once we come to a halt. It's pretty simple.
Copy. Get half of us on the left, half of us on the right. If you guys remember your numbers, do odds left, evens right.
Ripco, when you need the bird, send me a message on CPR. Right?
Start sending them over right now, I'd say. You
I
just
can
land
provide a
right
bird right here.
Yeah, right.
Okay, no
God,
man.
the guy's dead.
That's a wedge.
Yeah, not a wedge, guys.
No, yeah, it's a staggered column. You just stack on either side of the road.
2 lines, next to each other, essentially, is the TLDR, I guess.
My bad, fellas. The way you, and then, so, yeah, by 2. So, Beanbag, you're in the right place. Martin, you're in the right place. You're in the right place. You're in the right place. You're in the right place.
Goppin,
yeah,
ignore
okay,
me.
Alright, let's just start sending it down the road. So maybe
Where's
for
the
whatever
travel phase?
reason you guys are fucking sitting there and somebody needs a stand brake. Right? So, narcotics will call halt. So we stop. We should immediately be crouching or proning out. Do you guys understand what name tape deflate is? Does anybody?
No.
Okay. So, we wear our name tapes right on our chest, right? So name tape defilade would imply that we want to keep our body exposed up to our name tape. Or I'm sorry, we want to keep our body concealed up to our name tape. So crouching, proning,
About
that kind of
nipple
shit.
height.
You want to make yourself as small as a target as possible. So yeah, you guys got security right here, right? So from there, we want to kind
It's
of
getting a little loud.
what we can. And like I said, we all start slicing off pieces of a pie. A good way to do it, man, if you have a good team that has good cohesion, is look to the SL. So I can see Narcotics is covering like 12 to 1 o'clock. So if I'm Benji, I'm going to be like, okay, well, I'm going to cover up high right up here on this rock. And then if I am Zergling, I'd be looking at Benji, and I'd be like, okay, and I'd be looking at SL, and I'd be like, okay, well, he's got the 12 and 1 o'clock, and he's covering up here, so I'm going to cover the 3 and 4. And so on and so forth down the line until you guys kind of just have everything fucking covered. And sometimes, with big groups, you're going to have overlapping coverage, and that's completely okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But you should always give yourself, your entire squad, to look over, even if you're not the SL, and look over and say, okay, well, where can I fill in a gap here that is not filled in? This is also something that can be called a herringbone, and it's typically called that when you're dealing with vehicles, so it's lined up the same way. If you guys were to be in VIX right now, this is the same exact concept. You guys would be pulled off to the side of the road, each taking off one section, and the turret gunners would be holding security for those one sections.
and land.
No, we're not shooting on it. Over here by the bird.
Make an entrance.
Oh, I lost the bird.
I've got it.
He's bringing one. Lynx is spawning one in. Oh, that's a cool one.
We don't have those. We don't fucking have those in the Liberation. Thank you, Rodin.
I didn't spawn the slick one.
Come here.
Get over here. Get in it.
No, not yet, buddy. We're good. So,
This thing has 8 seats, I think. Excluding the guns.
inserting via helicopter is probably the most common thing that we fucking do, right? That is typically in the last few campaigns that we've played how we've mostly traversed the battlefield, and that's great. Arguably to a fault. However, getting out of a vehicle or getting out of a helicopter and pulling security is pretty freaking simple. All right, so if I am sitting here at door left 1 and wheels hit the deck, all right, I'm gonna jump out of this bird. I'm gonna take probably about 10 feet forward, and I'm gonna freaking prone out or crouch, and I'm gonna do the same exact thing that we were just doing there, slicing off the pie and holding some sort of bit of security. So let's everybody try that. Fucking jump out into your respective directions, get out, and try and get 360 security across this bird. And then your SL, ideally, narcotics feel free to, is going to give that guidance and direction and stuff like that. But this should almost be autonomous. Man, I want to fly this thing. This thing's cool.
Go now, Bob.
Dude, we have fucking UH-60, not MH-60 that's transport in Liberation. So this we don't have access to in Liberation.
So Zergling, come over here and pull security. So yeah, this is essentially the long and the short of it. Gop Treza, if I were you, buddy, I would push off more over here. You just get that 360 security around the bird, and then what you're doing there is you're protecting your pilots and also you're protecting your squad. And once the bird lifts off and leaves, alright, typically what we do is we wait until, you know, the rotors become faint. Once that happens, then you guys just get up and you do your mission. So let's mount up and let's try it. We'll have Fubar take us around the map real quick, land us back over here in this field, and we'll jump out and we'll try it.
Actually, we're gonna go to one of the LZs, maybe like a fucking urban setting.
Actually, take us to Thesis, because we're going to be doing that after this.
What?
Thesis, camp to the north.
Or just, draw a line on that.
Alright, so look around in the helicopter right now. Look how you're seated. Look who is around you. When you hop out, try to take a sector like that makes sense on where you're seating. So when I hop out, I'm going to hop out left and then push to the tail end, cover our north. Whoever's
going. We're just gonna draw a line.
I did.
Oh, it deleted. Interesting. Oh yeah, I'll see you on my next step.
Where are we going?
Dude, this thing hauls ass.
Yep, it sure does.
They all do. It's not just this one.
Yeah, the H60 pack we're using is spectacular, mate. It's brilliant.
Huh?
The Black Orc mold we're using is brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
You know what, I don't think I can actually naturally deal with the trees. Why don't we fucking faster? Oh, never mind, I got a spawn.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the deck.
Go. Let me know. Let's go.
And you're good. Clear as mud?
Goddamn perfect.
Alright, cool. Here, regroup on me. I typically don't see this happen in the lip server that much, and it needs to happen, because it's only a matter of time until we start losing birds from it. It's just common courtesy to your pilot to fucking cover their area real quick for 'em.
As the Banshee, as someone who's flown Banshee, I've been shot out as the pilot multiple times just from some dude walking up in front of the bird.
And it doesn't take much time out of your step.
You guys gonna set up all? Or do you want me to pick you back up?
No, we're gonna go to or actually, yeah, if you wouldn't mind picking us up and taking us to the thesis helipad.
Yeah, roger that.
Where?
Thesis.
Oh, this is what I like. Yeah.
Do you hear him?
Did you actually shoot him? Hold on.
Ripco speaking.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hear me, Gop?
Yeah,
can you
yeah,
not
yeah,
hear him?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Alright. Okay, so yeah, I just want to shoot that guy because he was looking at me weird. Anyway, CQB, close quarters battle. All right. If you hear someone say CQC, you should punch him in the face because that's not how that is.
Mate, it's a British and an American thing. Don't worry about it.
It's only combat if you're using your fists. If you're using your fists, you're shit out of luck.
Oh, that's a C-17. Awkward. All right. Anyway, yeah, no CQB. This is where we
Good
kinda make our
old
bread and
Willow.
buddy and-
Yep.
bread and butter in most.
That's
locations.
literally what
The
I
reason
thought.
being is because we have to take
Oh, Gallo Walker. Sorry.
cities, and cities often look kind of like this, all right, or villages or whatever. CQB is inherently fucking dangerous, significantly more dangerous than something like breaking contact or reacting to contact in an open field and stuff like that. And the reason being is because we are up close and personal, usually from like meat and narcotics with a bad guy. Okay, let's talk for a second about.
Who has the stinger?
Talk for a second about. Let's talk for a second about utilities and about equipment. Okay, so who could tell me what the downsides to going into a short room or a house like what is behind me with a 16-inch barrel might be?
Getting caught up
It'll
on
just
walls and
clatter
shit.
against everything.
Exactly. You're gonna have a situation. Who's got like an M16 on him?
Anyone seen that video of the dude jamming his G63 in the door and then coat hangers himself?
The max level
really?
Yeah. So I would argue. So an M16A2 has an 18-inch barrel. All right. The 416-10s have 10 3 barrels. The 14.5, which is what narcotics is carrying, that has a 14.5-inch barrel, and then the SR16 has a 16-inch barrel. Okay, I would argue that anything at 16 inches or more is not as appropriate for CQB because it's going to bang into walls. It's going to make it difficult when you're. Come over here real quick. Now I have a 10-inch barrel with a suppressor on it, so when you're coming into a room and stuff like that, if you're floating into this room. If you're floating into this room like this, there's a very high likelihood that you're going to fucking end up brushing up against something and you're going to make it so, and I've had it happen to me before where you come in and you go to make your shot and you're like sitting there shooting fucking walls and shit. Alright?
It's also a very wide
Can you
doorway.
spell an arsenal, please? I'm out of ammo.
He's out of
Yes,
No,
I will give you an arsenal.
Who needs some ammo? Just put in my
it's a 416 with a 10-inch barrel on it.
I'll just put some in there now.
A 416?
Yeah, it's a
HK
Heckler. And,
416.
yeah.
Heckler and Koch.
Oh, yes.
So
Heckler and Koch.
Koch.
I think it's called. Technically, it's a Heckler and Coke.
It's not.
Heckler and Koch.
Heckler. And, I always call it an H and K because I don't know how to pronounce it. 'cause
Yeah, facts.
I'm
Heckler and Koch.
uncultured.
It's Koch.
It's Koch.
So
It's cock, yeah.
the natural instinct that people have when it comes to urban environments and close quarters battle and stuff like that is to be extremely. That is true. Extremely. Okay, funny story. I was a grunt in the army. We did cross training with MPs once, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna clear some rooms. We're doing some glass houses, that kind of stuff. They go in there and they're like, military police, get on the ground, drop the gun, boom, 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 etc. and stuff like that. And we're all kind of just staring at them weird. And the staff sergeant that was in charge of the MPs was like, "Well, what do you guys do?" And I was like, let's go over to this other house because I just smoked this one.
We can chuck the smoke out. That was fine.
All right, so the natural instinct that people have when it comes to, hold on. Sorry, I was sending a text. Natural instinct that people have when it comes to close quarters battle like this is to move very fucking fast. And when you're good at it, moving fast can be like your essential strategy, right? But if you're bad at it, you're going to trip over your dick and you're going to get people killed. So the other big issue that I see people is non-commitment to whatever the hell it is that they're pushing. So like narcotics coming on me. So we have this situation where me and narcotics are going to push into this house, right? So we're going to push into this house, and I'm coming up with my gun up, and I'm getting ready, and I come around the corner, and fucking Lynx is in there, in that doorway, and he starts shooting at me, right?
Hit my keyboard.
So Lynx starts shooting at me, and my natural instinct is to sit there and do this and back out. In the meantime, I'm bumping into narcotics, and I'm slowing the entire fucking thing down. It's something that you have to condition yourself to, but you need to push the contact. So we're coming in, and Lynx is sitting there shooting at us. I need to push and push and push and push. If I hem my buddy up, I'm going to get me killed, and I'm probably going to get him killed.
Guys,
Okay.
fatal funnel, right? Don't stand on the fucking doors. That's how you get you.
Once you're
and your
committed
boys
and you're
killed.
going in, you're going in. If you want to hold the door and pie it, okay? And what I mean by pie is this, okay? Essentially, you're slicing off pieces of the pie. You're cutting off little pieces of the room, right? So I'm sitting here, right? And if like Lynx, hop in there real quick.
Oh, guys,
so if I'm
you're not demonstrating, crush down. Everybody crush down. If you're not demonstrating, crush down.
So if I'm sitting there and I'm trying to cut off and see what's down that doorway and stuff like that, I might get my lean on a little bit, poke around, and like I can see right there. Is that you, Lynx? Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I'm poking around, I can see Lynx's shoulder already, right? How much can you see of me, Lynx?
I can see nothing.
Okay. So I can already see Lynx and he can't see me. All right. Now, if I do manage to show my hand, can you see me now?
I can see just the corner of your elbow.
Okay. And so
But if I actually aim at it, I hit the wall.
And this is called slicing the pie. All right. I can see the majority of Lynx's body and he can barely see me. But if I show my hand and he starts fucking shooting, all right, I can turn around and I can back up, and I'm not really doing anything besides getting the fuck out of the way and increasing my survivability, right? Now, so the big thing here is I'm not holding up people at the doorway and getting people shot and fucking killed. When it's time to sit there and engage and push in, you need to push in, but it doesn't hurt. You don't need to stack on a door blindly. I see this all the time. You don't need to stack on a door blindly and be like, all right, let's fucking go. That doesn't need to happen, okay? You can pop a door open and then sit there and do exactly what I'm doing right now. Maneuver around. Maneuver around. Oh shit, hey, fucking narcotics, I see an arm. There's a fucking guy in there. He's wearing
have a
camis.
grenade.
Perfect. Okay? Ideal. So, This is a corner fed room, so I don't want to do it here. Let's go back over to. Are these all? No, over here. Come over here. So let's say you do come up to a stack, a situation where you're going to stack on the door and actually make entry. Okay. There's a certain flow that makes sense that really kind of just is, I guess, doctrine. All right. As much as I hate doctrine, it's doctrine. Okay. That is, your first guy is always going to take the path of least resistance. Oh, there is no fucking least resistance in here. Okay. Your first guy is always going to take the path of least resistance going into the room. And what I mean by that is going into a room and turning, like I'm doing right now, that is counterproductive. That takes more time than is necessary. Now, it doesn't make sense for every guy to go in and do this, because this is the path of least resistance, right? You can see the movement changes between this and this.
Ah, the old red hat.
Right.
Yes.
So you're introducing much more stimuli to your environment when you force that button hook in that turn. It's not necessary. Okay.
I'm
So the
pretty
first
sure
guy
I can
going
get
in-
you buildings with doors if you want it.
No, it's dude. You look hilarious, but no, it's fine.
This is my
so the
generic
first guy
bad
comes
guy
in-
uniform.
Beanbag, come in behind me. So me and Beanbag are on a stack. Okay. Come right in behind me. All right. So the first guy goes in and he does that flow, and I can already see links right here, so I would be engaging that. Okay. But he comes in and he makes that flow, whereas everybody can see, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then Beanbag comes in right behind me, and he's like nut to butt, dude. Like close as fuck to me, alright? And as I'm coming in and going straight with my gun up, Beanbag's coming in and doing that button hook. He's taking up that extra slack for me. Now when you get in, all you're gonna do is just start breaking off sectors and communicate to each other. So the big thing is communication, so just come up near the doorway, see the best that you can see. First thing that Beanbag would likely be pointing out is, hey, I got a doorway here to the right. And that would tell me, okay, Beanbag, he's got a doorway here to the right. He's going to cover that while I finish clearing this room. We'll engage fucking the Prince of Nigeria over here. And then... Martin says, be right back. All right, cool. And then we'll turn around and we'll start addressing this door. But when it comes to CQB like this, Beanbag, you can hop out, buddy. When it comes to CQB like this, you're just going to cut off sections of whatever the fuck it is that you're doing and take them bit by bit very, very slowly until it's time to move fast. Now, oftentimes, it's not time to move fast until you're getting shot at. So you come into a room, you start taking gunfire, yeah, storm the fuck in there and kill the bad guy. But if you're cutting off sections and slowly clearing out a room, all you're going to do is just move slowly into this position, all right? So let's go right here.
I had a quick question about
what's up?
going through doors. Is it better to breach from like a hinge side or the opposite side when opening a door, or does it matter?
I would say that wherever the door side is, you should be opening from the opposite of that.
So like
Whereas the
hinge
entry
side
team
or
guy, yeah, so the hinge side. Whereas the
The
entry team guy,
Yeah, so
guy should be making his entry.
the person on the side of the handle is the first one in.
Right. Okay, cool.
So let me get who feels pretty confident with clearing a room.
Me.
I do.
Me also.
Okay, so let me get you two over here with me. So we're gonna stack up. All right, we're gonna start pieing off. The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be like, all right, listen, I'm gonna pie. Okay, I want to start pieing off. Okay, clearing around. Okay, as far as I can see, now we have this window here. Pretend these windows don't exist because I don't want to fucking complicate things. All right, but as far as I can see, it's clear. All right, so on me, we're gonna flow in. I got to open door left, 2 times. When you guys are in, let me know.
In.
Okay.
In.
All right. I'm gonna start creeping across, creeping across, creeping across. Contact. He's down. Contact. He's down. Cover that. I'm covering this. Contact. He's down.
Oh, I'm stuck. I'm stuck.
I got an exterior door. Come back. Let's clear this.
I got point.
Okay. Go.
Contact down.
Clear. We're clear.
Good shooting, Doc.
Simple as it can be. Look, and I want the big emphasis on this to be how slowly we move through that fucking building. You see like these videos of like 75th Ranger Regiment and stuff like that. Those guys are premier light infantry forces. Okay, that's what they do all day, every day. So they've kind of earned that ability through hard work to be able to be like, fucking, like that. That is something that they've learned. Okay, we don't have that. Like
Prince of
I'm one the few
Nigeria.
guys watching
Yeah.
for my entire state. We don't do it like that. We don't clear rooms like that.
Sorry, my button to put the gun away is also the
Can I
button to
ask one
toggle
thing?
my chat overlay.
Guys, when you're
For
gonna
me.
get in there, like, if you see a hostile on the right side, and you pick left, don't swing around and change positions, alright? Where you pick, there you go, right? The other guy takes that room,
Yeah, you gotta
takes that
trust-
corner.
Yeah, if you
Alright.
fuck up, yeah, exactly. And if you fuck up and you don't, because the first guy is supposed to take this path of least resistance and just flow in. But if you button hook, that's fine. Just do the opposite of whatever the hell the guy does in front of you.
Yeah, it's like gel with your guy, alright? What he does, you play off, like, if he goes right, you go left. If he covers the front, you cover the back, right?
You're slicing off sections and covering the best that you can.
Point man's always right.
You need to move slowly. I see this a lot with people that just storm in there because they want to look like they're fucking badass. You end up getting shot in the face and killed. All right? You just move super fucking slow. All right? So let's practice it. Let's break up into groups of 3 each.
There's
So,
actual like CQB like shoot house stuff in the next compound over southwest.
Okay, let's go over this way then.
Why don't you just fucking zap?
Also, guys,
I zapped you to the center.
game-wise, also, boys, game-wise, the enemy will, once you get close to the enemy will always give its position away. You'll always be able to hear if they're in the house, because they'll start yelling. Yep, they'll do that, and it's really good that way. You can better spot them much easily. Ah, jeez, boys, I lost you. Ah, there you are.
Wrong way, but okay. That's a shoot range. Compound southwest is where the
Cool, there's Arsenal in here as well.
Well, 1,000 fucking parts.
yeah, you can't always hear them yell at you. Yeah.
What if we just stared into each other's eyes while we were running? What if we banged? I mean, what?
I can give you 9 bangs if you want them.
No, you're good.
Wait, what? There's flashbangs on there?
Yeah, there's flashbangs in game, but we don't give them to you.
Alright. Team of 3 over on me. I guess it'll just be you guys.
Cool.
Alright, cool. So stack up right here.
Alright. Am I taking point or are you taking point?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you take it.
Zergling, go with them. So, you guys are going to roll. I want you to do everything that you can do. I want you guys to move slowly. I want you guys to pie, be aggressive, be non-aggressive, fucking utilize whatever you can to safely do this. And I'm out of play. If you see me in here, do not shoot me.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the close quarter
Alright.
combat one.
I'm gonna pie around this first
Yeah.
entrance.
Nice.
Wait, make an entrance. Oh shit, sorry, Wink.
I mean, yeah, I'm a combatant, but sure. We'll say you killed me.
Okay. My bad, I didn't know I was supposed to kill you.
I mean, I shot back at you.
And the rest of you guys that aren't a part of this team, just stand here.
Okay, we got open doorway left. I say we clear left before we push. Or wait, is this even part of this?
That's just the exit, but you
Oh,
guys
okay.
can clear this room if you'd like.
Okay.
Alright. Man left.
Rip, I'm gonna grant you the power of God real quick.
Hey, could I get healed from that shot, by the way?
Oh, I hit you? Okay. Yeah.
Hold on, I
So-
gotta get my leg real quick because I got shot.
Zergling, I want to show you something kind of cool.
Cool. Appreciate you.
So, real quick,
Have their guns up. They will not be at low ready.
come out here real quick. I want you to pie that door and let me know when you can see me.
Okay.
So go over to to the right there, and just slowly start creeping until you can see me. Any part of my body.
I wish we could use high ready.
Yeah, no.
I can literally. How much do you see of me?
I guess it doesn't really matter though in a game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You said a lot?
Low ready, left control.
I see your arm and your leg.
I can literally see the tiniest little bit of your tube from your night vision.
No,
Okay.
because it's a game.
Fair
It
enough.
comes up quick enough.
So, alright, come back in here.
That's pretty
and then,
quick.
Just keep
No.
running the
Alright,
house.
yeah.
Is it good?
How'd we have that? Zerg, you were up there. Zerg, I'm gonna have you take point as we keep moving. If you were up in that position, I'm trying to take it from where we were at before. We like kind of took that break. So you were covering along that wall, right?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. We had just got done clearing this. Alright, so Zerg, you take point. We're on you.
You should have the power of God now, Rip.
Yeah, but I don't even know how to use it, so.
Why?
Can you hear me, guys? My TeamSpeak crashed, sorry.
Can we have a couple of guys posing the Russians in there?
I've heard people say that it's pretty brutal.
Guys, can you hear me? My TeamSpeak crashed.
Yeah, we hear you now.
Okay.
How are you finding the Scar cage? Is it pretty good?
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
I'm loving the uniform. The flag makes it.
By the way, is ready or not?
Target.
Can we play in fucking Alpha?
I don't care.
Alright, we got room on left, another doorway ahead. Let's clear this room to the left first.
Okay.
You pieing or you committing?
I'm fine.
Copy. Let us know what you're doing as you're going by.
A hallway in front and a hallway on the right.
Copy. Come into that pie. We gotta clear this, get to the other side of the doorway, and then we'll push through.
I've got squad. Squad is really good. It's
Okay, that's a lot of rooms.
Alright,
On the
go ahead and
left
push
side.
into it.
Yeah, but it looks clear.
Push into it.
Yeah, I'm pushing.
yeah.
I'm on the left side.
It does, man. I agree.
Contact down. Left room.
Like this. Oh wait, I don't think I can do it.
One down.
I think Zerg just went a little too far left then.
It's all fucking.
What are your
people
thoughts,
jumping
Rip?
around and being stupid.
They're not watching that far small room at all, yeah. Two contacts.
We got open doorway left.
Hey Rip,
Oh yeah, I would be dead
Rip.
now.
Yeah.
Come take a look at this.
Yeah, it's very much swarm tactics as well. Blob tactics.
You see something wrong with these two dummies?
Through this open doorway left. I'm gonna take point.
Is it
What are
right for
these?
the small clear, yeah?
Well, they're dummies. They're supposed to be down.
You take
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah,
didn't
they
clear
might be
this
coming back
room.
to it.
I can't wait for them to bring out Battlefield 4. It's not ever gonna happen, but like with the technology today, you think about it, this
Clear,
is a
you go
2013
straight, I go
game.
straight. You don't
Okay.
want to make those button
Yeah,
hooks.
armor
No,
core.
you button hooked.
No. Did I?
Oh, sorry.
I meant
Listen,
armor,
no,
sorry.
I'm gonna show you guys real quick. So when we
Okay.
clear doorways, Ripcord, come here real quick. I'm gonna show him with you.
Yeah.
So say Ripcord just pied across right here. He's on the other side. Ripcord's gonna take point. Go ahead and clear through. Ripcord goes straight. I go straight. Contact on the
Okay,
corner.
okay, I understand.
You know what I mean? You don't button
Yeah,
hook
yeah, yeah,
around the
okay,
corner.
okay. Yeah.
I'd be so good just to get a more modern,
Sure.
up-to-date
True.
military, like not say military.
Go ahead, you got point.
infantry Simulator. It'd be so good. Compliments.
Got
armor
contact open the door left.
Artillery. Exactly what Armor 3 is. It'd be awesome to have.
I say
Armor
we
4.
commit to this left side. Keep clearing from the left.
Okay.
Walk along the wall. Keep moving. Keep moving.
Yeah, I agree.
Keep that
If
walking
I
pace
say,
as
it's
we're
like
moving.
You just die and then respawn.
I'll move
Open
from
doorway
right.
left. Hallway.
Looks clear.
We got Zerg.
I'm
Fine.
fine.
Yep. Don't commit more than down. Okay.
Clear.
Yeah,
No,
don't go
don't
down
commit.
that hallway because we haven't cleared that
Okay.
at all. You might have died if you did that.
I can't
Well,
see the
you said this was
far
clear.
corner. No, sorry, the right corner. I can see there is this long corridor. So
Copy. All right.
what to do
Zerg,
now?
take that
So
corner.
this is. I mean, you guys are working through it. Yeah, work through it.
Zerg, take that corner. Hug the corner. Gop, clear left. I'm on you.
There
Clear.
you go. Yep. Kind of like a pseudo-Israeli lean.
There's some room on the right.
Copy. I got eyes down that breaker.
3 men need to get out of the doorway faster. That was where all the incoming fire is going to go. Moving slow is fine,
Alright,
but
we'll
don't
rough
stand
them
still
into
in the
that.
doorway when you've already made entry. Yeah, Zergling stood in the doorway for far too long.
We're in here. Let's keep moving. How's it look, Zerg?
It looks clear.
Can we? Is this even part of this? Yeah, we can get through here. Alright, so we have an obstacle in the way. Right here, since we do have an obstacle, I would probably just fucking grenade it or flash it if we have some. So let's do it for dramatic effect. Nade. As soon as we nade, going around the corner. Hopefully no one's on the other
Links.
side.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Imagine grenading a shoot house. This wood ain't thin. thick.
I gotta run out. Just run that last group through, and then have
Okay.
Fubar do faster open. Thanks, buddy.
Alright then.
Ooh, Ripco DC. What's going on?
He told me I'm taking over.
Alright.
Don't throw grenades in the plywood house.
Yeah, we learned that.
Yeah, guys, it's fucking shrapnel. They'll pierce right through.
I think we're
Well,
gonna
you didn't
climb
give us
over it.
flashes, damn it. I told him I'd throw a flash in this scenario.
We don't have flashes in Liberation.
Well, we wouldn't be pushing through a plywood fucking shoe house in Liberation, so.
I'm fine.
Should I peek?
No, we've already cleared this. But this is where we moved.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is where we need to go. But the issue with this is we had an obstacle. That's why I would. Optimally, I would have flashed that. But in Liberation, we're not going to be in a fucking plywood.
I think we can climb over it.
No, we can. But the point is, we don't know what's on the other side.
There's a
of it.
prone
We do not
space
wanna
to your
climb
left
into
that
a
you
room.
missed.
There's a what?
Back in the previous small room, there's a prone space to prone through into that area.
We cleared that after we moved past it, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah, we cleared that. We cleared it.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's how you're supposed to get in there, but there's other entry ways as well.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I would just climb
I'm
this shit.
I'm not exactly sure who built that, but yeah.
It's fucking stupid. We're climbing over this.
Hey, Lynx, is there a
Maybe we should
fucking
enter from
chance we can get practice grenades?
Maybe we should
in the
enter from
training
this side.
zone?
I still don't think the practice grenades will actually knock down the targets.
No, they don't do any damage, like at all. Even if you chuck it on someone's
I know.
fucking face. But, like,
They
in
still won't
CQC
knock
or
down the
whatever.
targets.
I'm gonna pie cross. I'm doing it. Call out when you're doing stuff so everybody knows. Communication is
It's done.
most.
Yeah, it's clear. Looks clear.
Copy. All right, get close to the door because we're going to be clearing. You go straight, I go straight.
Yeah. Go.
When you pie,
Going.
you take point. Yep.
Going.
Go. Clear.
Well, aren't we allowed to use flashes? I think it'd be great, but I understand that in public service people can be toxic with things like that. Yeah, everyone used to have demo charges. Everyone used to be able to pull demo charges, and then yeah, we stopped doing that.
We gotta clear these one by one. Go ahead and keep it pushing.
Plus, I'm not sure what the legality of
Clear.
causing someone an epileptic fit is
So
if
you
we
got that?
facilitate it.
Yeah,
Go ahead and pie this left room.
yeah, I'm buying. Clear.
It's just one of those things where we're not really sure if like they even work against AI, and it's just sort of like why risk, you know, blasting someone's eyes and ears out, especially when Karma is on the server.
We have been here.
Yep.
I think we are done already.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little thing.
You did miss one room that me and Rip already talked about.
Did we?
Yeah, we shot down the targets, but it's this one.
Oh yeah, this is where we were moving into. We just assumed we did it. I think because the targets were
No.
down. Oh no, this one. I see.
Yeah, this one you didn't.
Ah, okay.
But, oh well, it's fine. Alright. Head out of the area. We'll reset the targets.
I'm actually probably gonna hop off this. It was a pleasure, boys. I appreciate all the training. Links, you're a
Okay.
genius. Keep it up, brother.
I like the hat.
I think I just saw Frank come on.
Where's
Controls.
our Russian friend going?
You know,
Oh, sorry.
if you guys are getting bored, you know you can go into Hearts and Minds, right? Eden Hearts and Minds.
There's no one on there right now, but yeah.
Ah, okay.
That's the problem with that particular server is that it's got a small player base. So
Alright, group
unless
2.
people are actually gonna log in.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, next batch. Fucking.
The next group of people. Just whoever hasn't done this yet. Let's get this done.
Just one of you?
Is this it? Martin, Willow, and Shane?
Same. We've been doing some fucking Call of Duty
Willow?
shit. With like a
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
squad doing CPC duels.
Boston, are you
Yeah.
part of this as well?
Yep,
I
I'm
probably
ready.
shouldn't go through
Alright.
this now. I didn't do any of your training, so.
Ah, no, you're fine. You were here for all of this. Alright, everyone stack up against the wall. Ready to go in.
I've done fucking CPC training things so much.
Shane's point, man.
I'm sick of it doing that. Like, we run that shit. fucking
Make sure you're loaded.
Every day, at least 4 times. Fucking kill us.
So what are you doing, Shane? You gotta let people know. You gonna pie or you gonna go straight in?
Oh, okay, so
Hey, Boston,
alright.
just get a little bit closer to. Okay.
Well, I've got
Boston?
I've got no idea what's around the corner on the inside of this, so I guess the best idea would be to pie it and swap over to the other side.
Yep, so don't tell me, tell you guys. I'm gonna pie this.
Alright, you
Alright,
pie.
guys. Yep,
I'm on the
fine.
wall.
Alright, clear. Pushing in the other corner.
Alright, so now the rest of you flow in.
I will spectate too.
Shane, your point, man. What's going on?
We're stacked.
We all in?
Yep.
All
Alright,
in.
Pushing in. Clearing right.
Left clear.
Right's clear.
Got another
Clear.
room over there.
What are you doing?
One enemy down.
Hold on, let me
Guys,
deal with
give me a
that
sec, give me a
smoke.
sec. Yeah, I'm gonna get that smoke out of here. Give me a sec.
I've got it.
Yep, I already have it.
Ah.
You can go ahead.
Wait,
Why did you throw a smoke?
did someone throw an actual grenade over there
Moving up.
too?
Moving up. I'm moving up to the wall.
Short, concise comms, pieing, open door right, contact right, pushing down, pushing in, going right, reloading, switch me, and so on. Yeah. This is real basic.
Is it clear that way, Martin?
Peek around the corner there, yeah.
Okay, I'm coming through. I'm gonna fire.
So in this situation, being
Enemy
a
down. Second enemy down.
in this situation, being a corner fed unknown, you are probably best to just flow through into this. Pying is going to be too slow because you don't have any information and you don't have a safe way of getting it. You only have one corner to clear, so you just might as well go for it.
3 tangos down in immediate left. There's a long hallway and cover to
We
the
need to
right.
just check the other. Somebody
All right,
buy
I'm going
security on
right.
the other entrance. What's the other entrance?
I'm on it.
Target down right.
Okay, we got one coming through. Whoa, brother, take it easy.
Sorry.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
Control that weapon, man.
It's the funny thing. Clearly. 2 down.
My man.
You guys catch up.
Okay, I've seen one enemy in the other room. One enemy in the other room. Deep in the hallway. Right down the bottom.
So Martin, you're fighting from the doorway here. Take a look at where you're sitting. No, go back. Take a look at where you were sitting, man. You were sitting right here. Prone, fighting. Not good. There's a guy on your right here that you missed that would have just absolutely took out your kidneys.
Moving down.
This guy right here.
Yeah,
So
I
don't-
never really saw him.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so don't fight in the doorway. Like either fight on the inside of the door here, or commit and push in. Don't sit in this area here. This is you're getting shot and not moving. So
yeah.
Alright, we're separated now.
yeah, they fucked off and did their own thing, which is strange.
Hey boys, come up back up the hallway.
Make sure you're staying as a team. If you keep separating, then both sides don't know what's clear and where each other are. Make sure you're staying as a team.
Down.
Tango down.
Okay.
Okay, Shane and Martin. Shane, Martin.
Roger.
You guys left Willow and Zergling on their own.
Didn't know that they were there. Actually, I thought it was just us 3.
It was Shane,
I'm actually
Martin, and
spectating
Willow.
at the,
And Willow
They
ended
split
up
off
just
different
being on his
directions.
own.
Ah.
Yeah. But yeah. And I just try to always keep track of your team.
When we got to that first spot when we held, I thought everybody came in behind us. I didn't know how large the complex was on the other side, but we had all
Yeah,
regrouped.
well, it's
Yeah, it seems
yeah.
that's the problem here is that
Where you
know,
guys
going
Should've
through
kept
and
the
then
head count.
and with all the rooms, there wasn't really a clear communication about which
Yeah, well,
rooms and
there
where
was
and the
a
directions.
the reason why Willow was holding is because he was pulling security on a door that wasn't cleared that was online with your hallway. So you guys were hyper fixated on the first door you left because it opened up into a large area, and you guys just pushed in. And Willow was busy holding the second door on the left, pulling security. Which, I mean, in the shootouts doesn't mean much, but in an actual clearing scenario, it does. And Zergling was just there, so he just joined Willow
I'm
with
not in
clearing.
your group. I'm just spectating.
Yeah. Or who was it? Someone joined Willow and cleared that area.
Wasn't it Boston?
Yeah,
I think it was Boston.
Yeah, it was Boston.
So, yeah. I guess just making sure you're clearing, you're at least like pulling security or clearing or getting intel on all doors on your line, on the hallway line. And yeah, before you go committing into a large open area. make sure there isn't a small area with 2 dudes sitting in it, which is what it was. That would end up being behind you. I know after that point, this place becomes a maze and there's no way of, doing it right, but up until that point, there is a correct way. So.
Roger.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I think I told off someone for standing in a doorway and fighting. I think that was you, Martin, wasn't it? No? Someone.
Yeah, you
I
want to
forget
get
who.
through the death portal as quick as possible.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, cool. You guys did that a lot quicker than the other guys. Which I guess you could probably slow it down, to be honest, and be a bit slower, a bit more precise. But I don't know. I'd say Shane and Martin probably know their shit. But yeah, or at least have experience in room clearing, which is why they just blitz through this as a 2-man team. But yeah, working as a team, guys.
Which I do. Yeah, IRL, I clear a warehouse every night.
Yeah. Like, yeah. But yeah, working as a team, at least that's just what happened in this. Like, I'm not saying you don't do the right thing IRL, but game is a game.
Right. Well, I'm always by myself there, so I'm not thinking
Yeah.
about keeping a head count. And yeah.
So that makes sense.
Right.
And Martin just kept up with the point man, and the point man's just going through fucking fast as fuck. Alright. Let's go reset.
The only advice I would give for the game is that when you come up to stack up on a wall, listen, because once you kind of hit here,
They don't always shout.
you activate
That's
the,
false. That's
okay,
incorrect.
So most of the times they will shout, especially if you have your voice and you're talking, they'll hear you, and they actually, you can hear them activate, and then you know they're generally where they are.
Never assume a room is clear. Don't feed them bad information, Willow. Don't try and encourage metagaming. Yeah, listen out for contacts, sure, but don't. Yeah, audio cues are fine, but don't rely on it.
Right.
All right.
0 hour 2, and that the AI and that aggression and speed works in your favor. So I get a little tunnel vision when I'm-
Yeah, I know that. I know 0 hour.
Okay.
Alright, Ripco wanted me to go through doing fast roping with you guys, but I don't really see how that's relevant to the small team tactics, other than it's just something you do when the pilot can't land. You do the exact same thing when you dismount from a zip line anyway.
Yeah, but if the training part is done, I can actually show the borders in front of me.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that if they want to follow you and do that, but in terms of the training we set out to do, I think that's about it. I don't have anything I want to cover.
Training is actually going to be on the pilot end.
Yeah, it's mostly pilot skill for fast rope. For everyone else, it's just scroll wheel and click.
Acknowledging that they don't always have to land, but it is okay
Yeah.
to deliver in fast rope, etc.
No, I've done shit tons of fast ropes. But yeah, in terms of the tactical training, that's it for tonight.
As Siren, I was setting LZs as fast rope only, and I'd literally have pilots fly past them to a clearing because they didn't want to hover. And it's like, dude, just do it.
Then ground them. You can do that as a Siren if they're not following your fucking instructions. Ground them.
Yes, you can, but when it's the only stalker doing inserts, you really can't.
Well, I guess then you're screwed. In that case,
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
the stalker knows that he's the only fucker on.
Yeah, and that's kind of where it's been the past few days. Is it will only have so many pilots, so even when they don't listen, I can't really punish them by grounding them.
Alright,
Yeah.
guys. If there's nothing else, let's do some fast rope. Yes.
Cool. You can go all follow him. I'm gonna hop off. See you all later, guys.
Take care, Lynx.
Hey,
Appreciate it, Lynx. Have a good one.
No problem.
Joe, are you coming?
All right.
Boss Joe, are you coming, dude?